Orthopedic and Spine Care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
You're checking out the Waba Grill Lunch Hour here on Mason and Ireland.
Sup, people? Why do they grill the order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Their Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins and fresh steamed vegetables. Right now, get a value bowl combo for only $8.99 for a limited time. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Just like Mason and Ireland are for you.
Tell me if I'm weird here. Don't answer that question.
You're weird.
I knew that was coming.
The Waba Grill Lunch Hour rolls on right now.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
No Mason, no Ireland today.
Yeah.
John Ireland, we knew was going to be out of town. Steve Mason apparently texted Bergman at like 2 in the morning.
When is he ever awake at 2 in the morning?
He must have felt either really sick or was really planning ahead to the vacation he's got coming up too.
Or had a really great night the night before. You know, maybe he was partying until 2 a.m.
Do you know, Mace?
He's
I
not
don't think
a party
he's
till 2 a.m.
No.
Now,
On a Tuesday.
He may have been up till
Yeah.
2 a.m. scheming
On
his
Monday,
vacation, or Monday night scheming his
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
Like, that might have been keeping him and Juan awake, but just partying, no. Not what he does.
The question is really, will he be here tomorrow?
Ooh.
Because if he's here tomorrow, then he might have been sick for a day.
Well, you start getting into, if you're Mace, you ask the question, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
If I miss today and I'm not going to be there
Yeah.
Thursday and Friday, for the sake of continuity with Mason and Ireland, it's probably the team player thing to do not to show up. You don't want to mess with, well, you don't want to mess with the rhythm of the show.
Sure. I would say that's more of like LeBron, being scratched from the All-Star game at 2 p.m.
Let's bring all of
on
this
a
together.
5 p.m. start.
Mason texting Bergman at 2 in the morning. Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona Shelburne in for the guys. Mace texting Bergman at 2 a.m. That's when, at least to the best of our knowledge, we first learned that Steve Mason was sick and therefore unable to attend his scheduled event that had a lot of people waiting to hear from him.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, when I text at 2 in the morning, I've probably thrown up 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not a good idea. It's not going to make it in.
So,
tomorrow.
I mean, eventually...
I'm going to call it now.
Eventually, through leaked sources, we're going to find out when this began for Mace. Like, was this something that began Monday afternoon, Monday morning, maybe even Sunday night?
Yeah.
Or was this something that just sort of occurred to Mason? LeBron James, there is this question of... we learned a couple hours before Sunday's All-Star game that LeBron was not going to be playing. When did this possibility first emerge?
So I was in my day job. Is this my day job? I don't think so. This is like my fun job.
Is your fun job?
Yeah. The day job is like, I got to stay up all night writing. I got to show up on TV with sources and information and stuff.
This here is why you work the day job.
Right.
You get the fun. This is the reward of the day job.
That's right. This is the one I get to show up and just have fun with. Okay. But I guess I'm working. I have to be here.
I mean, you're paid.
Yeah, paid. We have to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't have to dress very well. It's great.
Some days, though, you come in looking smashing.
Well, that's when I come across from the TV studio.
Okay. Where does TV fit between this being the fun job, The writing being the day job, the grind. Where does TV
TV is
fit?
more a grind.
Right.
I don't get to have fun as much on TV.
Radio is way more fun than TV.
Way more fun.
Much
There's
more.
less structure.
Yes.
Yeah, TV is like I start telling one of my stories and they're like, rap!
Get her out of here.
10 seconds, going to break.
Fairness, Momo, we sometimes think that on radio as well.
Yeah, but we have a lot more space. It's part of my charm.
The breaks are flexible. That's why this medium works for me.
So I think look, when I was on NBA Today yesterday, that was the big story du jour, right?
You caused a stir.
Hey, do you want to call do you know what you want to use some industry jargon?
Please.
It's called a nod, news of the day.
Oh.
Right? Nod, that's the industry jargon. But if you walk around just saying, I got the nod, everyone's going to, so don't say that. But the news of the day was LeBron sitting out the All-Star game. I mean, there was a lot of talking about, did the All-Star game suck? Did that work? How was the format? Why was Kevin Hart making weird jokes? Like, I don't know. There was a lot of that stuff. But the news was LeBron not playing, and why did he not play, and why was it so late? Obviously, Anthony Edwards didn't play either, but he had dressed and warmed up and all that stuff. And so I feel
like, by the way, Ant getting a total pass in all
total
of this.
pass.
Like, nobody is talking
yeah.
about Anthony Edwards, who is the guy that's supposed to be theoretically the next face of the league.
Yeah.
He doesn't play.
Yeah.
LeBron, old man LeBron is 40, 22 seasons in, and we know he's been dealing with an injury.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, the Lakers should have held him out of Wednesday's game because then he has the plausible deniability. And especially if they were just going to phone in that game anyway, they might as well have just held LeBron out.
I mean, and clearly he had been hurt. He missed the game before, right?
No, he played on Monday.
There was one that he missed.
There was a recent game I think he did miss, but Monday before that was the
right.
first
That
of
was
the
the
two
Luka
Utah games.
Yeah, that's right. The Luka game was Monday, but I think the game before he was out, right?
I'd have to go back and
anyway,
look.
The point is it's a real injury. It's not like this wasn't like I'm just not feeling this.
No, he's been dealing with this injury for a few seasons now.
It's a real injury, and from what I understand, like it's painful. Like I think when you do the scale of 1 to 10 and all that stuff, it's not a 2. It's not a 3. It's like this is something he's really having to manage and play through every time. And so I'm with you, Andy. I think they should have called it way earlier. I think either his camp or the Lakers or whatever it is should have just said, you know what, he shouldn't play in the weekend. Get a replacement. And maybe he would have still showed up like Giannis did. Giannis had the same situation with a real injury that he just wasn't going to play, but he showed up and he was there the whole time, being the face of the league, being the for the cameras. Every time Mac McClung dunked, he was freaking out, right? He even tried to celebrate the guy from his own team who couldn't make a dunk. That was so sad, wasn't it?
Yeah, AJ Johnson, is that who it was? Or Jackson, Andre Jackson.
Andre Jackson
Andre
Jr.
Jackson, yeah.
And it was sad. Him and the guy from the Bulls, like they just couldn't make a dunk.
No.
And we were like, oh gosh, come on, guys, just.
Yeah, I mean, look, as somebody who is a Laker fan, IRL, as the kids would say, and also covers the Lakers for Locked On Lakers, available 5 days a week, everywhere you get your podcast, Monday through Friday. Always free, never behind a paywall. And for the sickos who like to watch, there's a YouTube component. Also, the host of Lakers Talk right here on this station, moving time slot. We're like a bunch of nomads. We're all over the place, but I don't want LeBron playing in that game at all. But I want him getting the rest. This is the result I wanted.
And here's the thing that people need to get is, as much as it's fun for them to have Luka Doncic now, like this is a whole new way of playing.
Yeah.
They have 30 games to figure it out. There's not a lot of time. Usually you don't make a big midseason trade for a player of this impact, but because there's not enough time to figure it out. The only one that I can remember that worked really well was Powell.
Right.
Because Powell was a genius. Powell showed up and was like, oh, yes, I understand the triangle offense. No problem.
And
why does anyone think this is hard?
And he and Kobe complement each other in ways that neither one of them necessarily has to adjust a lot other than learning each other.
Right. And like they got that worked seamlessly because of the unique nature of Kobe and Powell and their basketball brains and fit. LeBron and Luka are also basketball geniuses. They will figure it out, but there's only 30 games to figure it out. And this is going to take some time. And so he's got to be right and play as many games as he can. There's no like resting right now to try to be healthy for the playoffs because you just have to figure out how to play.
All right, staying on that, let's talk about coming up next. Will LeBron play in both of these games coming up Wednesday and Thursday versus the Hornets and then versus the Trailblazers? What are some of the most difficult things for LeBron and Luka to figure out? to play together. Mason and Ireland, Andy and Momo in for the guys, 710 ESPN.
The Luka era is on for the purple and gold.
And the NBA has never seen anything like this.
Rebound, Luka. Length of the court pass, LeBron. Lay it up and in.
Luka and LeBron, two of the greatest, are now together, and it's looking unstoppable.
I can't believe that we just had an assist, LeBron James to Luka Doncic, and it wasn't in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Catch the dynamic duo as they dominate and make history in real time, right here on the home of Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers.
710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Hey, it's Mace. Did you know Goodwill Southern California is more than just amazing thrift finds? They're transforming lives with job training, career placement, and support services for veterans, youth, and individuals overcoming barriers to employment. Every donation and purchase fuels these life-changing programs. For more on how you can help, go to powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. That's powerofwork.goodwillsocal.org. Brought to you by GSC Verizon Skill Forward.
We're everyday people doing good in our community. Our kindness runs deep, just like our blood. The same blood we donate to help treat sickle cell disease, which hits Black people the hardest. Good news is, 1 in 3 Black blood donors is a match for someone struggling with sickle cell disease. Stand tall in the eyes of your community. Donate today because our blood saves lives. Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood to make your donation.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
You're checking out the Waba Grill Lunch Hour here on Mason and Ireland.
Sup, people? Why do they grill the order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Their Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins and fresh steamed vegetables. Right now, get a value bowl combo for only $8.99 for a limited time. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Just like Mason and Ireland are for you.
Tell me if I'm weird here. Don't answer that question.
You're weird.
I knew that was coming.
The Waba Grill Lunch Hour rolls on right now.
Mason and Ireland, Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona Shelburne in for the guys, and Greg Bergman now joining us.
Wow.
Big meeting.
By the way, this is Teddy Swims, and Teddy Swims is the best. I love listening to him. Either way, yeah, no, there was meetings. Sometimes I don't get it.
So I have can I tell you a fun thing to do in meetings?
Yeah, please.
I'm a member of the PTA at one of my son's schools. And there's always people there at the meetings who just comment on things that just we've already moved on. Like, let's go. I don't need to hear about why you didn't buy the T-shirt last year and you feel bad about it, but you still have an opinion on it. So my friend and I, we have this last meeting we played it with water. The next meeting we will be playing it with something with other than water. But anytime somebody is blathering on and needs to be quiet so we can move along, we take a drink.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Like there's alcohol at your PTA meetings?
Oh, there will be next time.
Oh.
Like a little sip of wine every single time?
I'm going to bring a Stanley.
There's an elementary school right
Pretend it's water.
There's an elementary school right next to where I live. That
I'm talking preschool.
Unfortunately, my wife and I didn't send our daughter there because it's supposed to not be a very good school, which is very inconvenient because she could have walked
right there.
But they have this, sign where you can remove the letters and stuff like that in front of it. And one night I saw it said PTA night, and I got all excited trying to wonder how I was going to sneak into this Paul Thomas Anderson screening that I figured they were doing, and then all of a sudden it's like, dummy, PTA, like for parents. It's not a movie screen. I thought they were doing like a Paul Thomas Anderson festival at the school next door.
I can see why you get that way.
I was very excited by this.
I can't really, no.
No, the PTA, Paul
Doesn't
Thomas
everyone know what the PTA is?
I mean, if you're just a new parent. Who knows?
Okay.
I mean, my daughter was probably 12.
Oh, okay, well, then that's your fault. That's
Did they
totally
have
on
the
you.
PTA when you were growing up?
They did, but the movie geek in me came through. I'm like, sweet, Paul Thomas Anderson Festival. Like, is it going to be Boogie Nights and Licorice Pizza? What are we doing tonight? Like,
They got
Double
you.
Valley
They got
night?
you good, my friend. Yeah, okay, so I do want to, today is Tuesday, and that is normally Live Hinging Tuesday.
Okay.
We talked about this on Travis and DeMarco earlier today, but just so a new audience and more people are aware, that Chris Morales he was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. He had a cardiac event. It is not a heart attack, but he did have a cardiac issue, and he needed to take some time off. He is at home. He is healthy. He is safe. He is, moving around, doing his thing, but he's going to be out for a little while. We love him very much, and we can't wait till he comes back. It might take a little while for him to come back, but he will be back, and he is as good as ever. But just so that everybody is aware that if you're concerned, worried about where Chris Morales is, especially on a Live Hinging Tuesday, he is at home, and he is, gaining all his strength back.
So I want to know when I can go down there and take him country line dancing.
Well, you probably can't take him country line dancing, but you can go down there and say hi.
Okay.
I mean,
Just
he's
get in
not
touch
going
with
to come
Stefan.
back until he has the energy to completely hijack every Tuesday again, correct?
Oh, of course.
Like,
Yeah.
it's only going to be when it's worth Chris's while. Just showing up at the station to help, not enough.
Yeah, I think he can just call in, though. Like, I feel like...
So when he's ready and able to, so he still has to get himself back to the spot that he's supposed to be. But
okay, so stick to the burner accounts for now.
stick to. I can imagine he's not on any burner accounts.
I think
he's not Kevin Durant.
Is. No,
you think
Chris
so?
Morales? Don't you think Chris and Mason were both the burners?
No, I don't think Mason knows how to use a burner.
Mason just recently learned that you can watch Netflix anywhere, like not just on your specific TV.
Oh yeah, that was a thing. That was definitely a thing.
It was so ridiculous. I thought Mace was doing a bit, and he wasn't. Like, he really thought that he couldn't watch his Netflix account. Remember, he was going to see Juan's parents.
Yeah.
And because they're Brits, according to him, like, they only watch British TV.
Yeah.
He was going to miss a bunch of stuff on Netflix. And we were like, you can watch this
on your phone.
On your phone, on your laptop, on a different TV. And he's like, really?
Yeah.
We're like, Mace, it's an app. I was like, this is a bit, right? Not a bit.
Not a bit.
Not a bit.
He did this a while ago where he actually tried to have a burner,
–
but he couldn't figure out how to switch between the Venice Mace and the burner, so he would just talk to himself and not realize that he was...
He's trolling himself.
So, he was like talking about how great Steve Mason is, and then he would respond to himself as Venice Mace. It was a whole mess.
I have found the biggest Steve Mason fan. This guy loves me almost as much as I love me. He is a huge fan.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, we obviously...
Morales definitely knows how to do a burner account.
Morales, he probably does, but I mean, he does so much around
Morales
here.
has needed burner
like, to
accounts
take
for
that much time to make
reasons.
a burner. Yeah.
In all seriousness, though, we really do miss you, Chris.
Yes, we love him.
And
we
I
miss him.
really want you to come back soon.
Yes,
yeah, when you're ready. When he's ready, he will come back. It's going to take some time, but when he's ready, he'll be back and better than ever.
The energy around here is definitely different. We miss
I know.
Chris.
Very much.
I was like, what is this place without Morales? That's why we have to keep playing his promos.
Yeah, well, we're always going to keep his voice.
Yeah.
He is the voice of the station.
He's a whirling dervish all over the station.
Yeah, that's one description.
So you guys were talking about LeBron. What did I miss
what
with
did you
your
miss?
LeBron talk?
Did you do the? Okay, I've been always wanting to do this. Okay,
what's that?
Do you have my sound queued up?
I need to find it. I don't know how to find it on this. The last time I saw it, the last time I saw it was on the Lakers Talk page, and I don't know how to find the Lakers. The Lakers Talk page is buried on our soundboard.
Man,
so
that would be so good.
I need some assistance.
I was gonna do a whole bit where Momo throws to Ramona Shelburne from yesterday. Did you
Let's
hear
do
ESPN?
that after Wheel of Questions.
Okay, all right, let's do that.
Is that coming next?
Yes.
All right, Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
What's up, kiddos? It's Clinton Yates, the Big CY. You've seen me on your television. You've read what I write because I am first and foremost a journalist. And that's why I'm on live 5 days a week from 7 to 9 a.m. on Clinton and Friends. On my new show, we're going to talk about what I find interesting in the sports world, from college coaches that think they're bigger than the sport to who I will pay to go see live. So pop that radio on early before Travis and DeMarco and make Clinton and Friends part of your daily routine from 7 to 9 a.m. on ESPN 710, kiddos.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to...
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Brand new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe SE for just $299 a month plus tax for 36 months. Plus, enjoy peace of mind driving with America's best warranty and Hyundai Assurance Program. Carden Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway or visit CardenAlleywayHyundai.com. $39.99 due at signing, 10,000 miles per year. Plus tax, license, $85 dock fee, and registration. No security deposit on approved HMF credit expires March 3rd, 2025.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday. You know what it's time for?
What is this?
It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting, because I've been thinking about this myself all the time. The wheel landed today on a question about television. Is there a show that you have discovered significantly later than the rest of the world watched it?
Significantly later than the rest of the world?
Like when it was popular. Is there a show?
Yeah, Frasier.
Oh.
I remember when
you didn't watch it in real time?
I did not watch it in real time.
That feels like up your alley.
I was a big Cheers fan.
Yeah.
But I felt like the idea of Frasier was like kind of forced, and I think, at that age, like in my 20s, I was probably trying to be super art snob about it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm too good for a spin-off, something like that. And then I did not discover Frasier probably until my mid to late 30s because my wife likes it. It's hilarious. It's really, really good.
I'm just picturing Andy Kamenetzy as an art snob. Were you like black turtleneck?
No, not like that kind of art snob. Just like very picky about the type of stuff that I was consuming,
genres,
looking for how much everything was elevated,
prestige
whatever.
dramas.
Yeah, I mean, look, I always liked my stupid crap as well. Like,
Okay.
I liked my lowbrow too, but it just. Probably the idea of the spinoff just to me felt like forced and silly, and why are we doing this? And
So when you watched it in your 30s, like what was your...
it's really funny.
But
Like,
you
it's
have no one to talk about it with.
Well, my wife, she's the one who turned me on
okay.
to it. She was like, "You've never seen Frasier?" I'm like, "No," and it's so that's one off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's really good.
So a few actually. So The Shield, I watched way later.
Yes!
The Wire, I watched probably like 10 years later, and I was like, wow, this is
Also
really
great.
old school. Game of Thrones, I didn't start watching
Yep,
until
that's
probably
right.
season 5.
Yeah.
That when it came out, like I actually knew that Jon Snow had died. Spoiler, before I started watching the show. So those were all pretty late for that, and they were all amazing.
Did Jon
Breaking
Snow
Bad
die?
too. I didn't watch Breaking Bad until the whole series was over.
Yeah, me too. I was really late on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And also Curbed. You guys got me into
Oh,
Curbed.
no, I
I'm
was
still
watching
going back and watching seasons of Curbed.
It's amazing. Every episode is amazing.
Yeah, I feel like I started with the last season, and then I've been going back.
The more you watch it, do you feel like you're more Larry David than ever?
Yes.
The more you watch it, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right about everything.
Well, here's the thing, too. The longer you watch Curb, the older you get.
Yes.
And the older you get, the more you're going to start identifying with Larry David being a cranky old guy.
Yeah. Also, and I feel like I did miss a lot of the cultural moments that he was referring to, though, because I'm going back in time and there's like all these cultural references that I don't get.
Well, that's like, okay.
Because it was from 10 years ago.
My daughter thinks The Simpsons is funny when she watches it.
Yeah.
But there are things that just go over her head because
Yeah.
it's like a reference from 1995 and a very specific, maybe even kind of obscure reference. She has no idea what they're talking about. Like, she actually thinks King of the Hill
that's a
is
good show.
funny. It's great. But she actually thinks King of the Hill is funnier, I think in part because it's less time-specific with the jokes and more just universal. She likes them both, but I think she likes King of the Hill more because of that.
Yeah. All right, Brian?
Breaking Bad, same. I didn't actually start watching it until the last season. You know, my roommates kind of got me into that, so I was into that late. And The Office too. It's one of my favorite shows now.
Huh.
Didn't watch it all until
I've never
a few
watched The
years ago.
Office.
Yeah.
That's like one of those I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
It's really
It's
good.
good.
Don't worry about season 1. Watch a
Okay.
little bit of season 1, but
Okay.
then go to 2.
Jump ahead.
Same with
Yeah.
Parks and Rec. Watch the
I got-
first
Parks and Rec too, great.
Parks and Rec. You watch the first episode of season 1, and then just skip everything. Go to season 2.
Okay, another one I actually just got into, not super, super late, but definitely after the fact, and I love is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It
really good,
really funny,
and it really starts to pick up in the second or third season.
Yeah, it's great.
My new one is Younger. Did you guys ever watch that?
No,
I've never seen it.
Okay, it's on Netflix, and a couple of the girls at the gym were telling me about it. It's about this. It's about this older woman. She's in her older. She's in her 40s. She's recently divorced. The husband cheated on her, gambled away all their savings, etc. So she had gone. She's now in her 40s. Her daughter is in college. She has to go rejoin the workforce, and she can't get a job because she's too old and overqualified. She used to be like a hotshot publishing person. So instead, she happens to look pretty good for her age. And so she goes out to a bar with her friend she's living with in Brooklyn, and she's, kind of crashing on her couch. And she gets hit on by this younger guy. And the guy thinks she's in her 20s. And she's like, oh, I can't believe he thought I was this young. Like, I can pass for this. And her friend's like, that's what you should do. You should just go in and try to get an assistant job and just say that you're in your 20s. You look great. So she goes and redoes her resume, takes off all the experience, and then gets hired at an entry-level job in publishing by somebody who's basically her age, but treats her like she's in her 20s. And so hilarity ensues. It's a very good show.
That is
Also, the guy she dates is really hot.
Never hurts.
Nico Tortorella.
I don't know who that is.
But not your demo.
That show, though, does hit on the very real fear of becoming too old to be relevant.
Yeah.
Like, that is something that as you get older, because
yeah.
you're like, I don't feel like I have less to offer the world.
Yeah, I feel like I have more.
Yet all the messaging I get towards me is, you are obsolete. You don't matter. You're not the demo we're seeking out.
This is kind of deep for you, Andy.
It really is.
Is that what you're feeling day to day? I feel that
Depends
sometimes.
the day.
I feel
Depends
that
the day.
sometimes. But I feel like it's not that I feel like I am older, wiser, and better at my job than I've ever been. But the delivery mechanisms that people consume information have changed.
Okay, this is how I know I'm getting older.
Yeah.
Like for Locked On, for example, like they've been looking, the Locked On podcast network that I do Locked On Lakers for, they've been looking to increase different social media elements of it.
Yeah.
And all I think about is, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, me too.
Like, social media at this stage feels like work.
Totally.
And unless you're like an Instagram influencer, like this really is your job, it's not that much work. But the idea of learning all the different processes and like putting in the extra like thought towards how do I want to put this on social, it feels like a pain in the ass.
I literally want to hire someone to do that for me.
Yes.
I mean, and I would like pay them because I can't do it myself. It's too, and it's a whole delivery mechanism that we're not brought up in that world.
No, but we are also though part of it. Like we're trapped in this world that we are not of.
Yes.
Yet, like I think about, my daughter, like many kids her age, they are all about their screens.
Yeah.
They're staring at their different screens, and there's one part of me like, dude, what do you? But then I'm like, okay, I think about how screen addicted I am.
Yeah.
And I didn't even grow up in this.
Right.
Like this wasn't even my formative years. This is just something I've latched onto as an adult. This is like your kids, my daughter. This is all they know.
Also, there's actually a whole other generation that you and me are just still trying to catch up on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. And there's a whole other universe out there that's TikTok and Twitch and these other mediums that I'm like, ooh, I don't understand any of that.
I know.
And I relate it to NBA players. So there's guys that are kind of young but old souls. Like Jason Tatum was on the OGs. That actually fits. Jaylen Brown, he was on the OGs. They're not even 30 yet. But both those guys were placed on that team because they are more of that generation than the other guys who are 25, 26, right? Anthony Edwards belonged on the younger team, right? Or Jalen Williams or those guys. But I thought there's a whole other younger generation, way younger, that's like LaMelo Ball, right? And he has a whole following that we don't even understand. Like that we don't even know where that audience is, but there's a reason he was so high in the fan vote.
Yeah, the idea of implementing TikTok has come up for the podcast, and it's almost embarrassing to say, but it feels like both a pain in the ass and intimidating.
Yes,
like the idea of what do I do with TikTok?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to do with that. Like I feel like the Chris Rock joke, the old guy in the club.
Yeah.
Like the idea of me entering TikTok feels like the old guy in the club.
And yet,
like I have no business being there.
Okay, and yet, whoa, we are going in a weird rabbit hole.
Do it.
So I've been trying not to doom scroll at night, like like the last few months I've been like, you know what?
Have there been things going on, Momo?
Yeah, just tuning out of the world, right? Like mostly. As much as possible. I mean, there was things you could not ignore. But
we call it all of it.
Yeah. But I was trying to, just for mental health, sanity, et cetera,
No,
focused on the present, myself, my kids, my family, et cetera. Okay. But one of the things that I have gravitated towards, and I'm definitely stuck in an algorithm, on Facebook, I go on Facebook now, talk about old media. Okay. I have started I started by watching the outdoor cooking videos. Do you ever watch the men with pot videos or men with knives and stuff? They cook really yummy kind of food with like a really big knife and a cooking board outside and a cast iron pot out in the nature somewhere, right? So this started me on an algorithm where now then I started watching, something popped up. It was like Faraway Village, and it was like these villagers in like Tajikistan, and they're like cooking some lamb in a pot, and then that started like some algorithm, and I swear they're the same villagers, but they have different Facebook headings. Like this will say like hometown cooking or outdoor cook, and I'm like, I think I recognize that woman from the other video, but now this is my algorithm late at night. This is what I am watching at 11:30 at night, trying to fall asleep. I'm watching some villager in Uzbekistan cook potatoes.
Okay,
that's me right now.
This is actually now
so hot.
This is actually now really starting to piss me off even more, because it was talking about how like these new elements of social media
and yet it's authenticity.
Right, but also
she really looks like she's in Tajikistan.
There are a bunch of villagers in Uzbekistan who have more
They're
of a social
way
media.
They
have figured out social media better than me, somebody who works in effing media. That pisses me off.
They're really good.
They're great.
They're good videos. And there's a part where they'll do like a cut and they'll show like their dog, frolicking in the meadow. And I'm like, this is like cinema here.
These villagers, I'm calling BS. They've got like a team.
Faraway Village family.
Oh, they've got a team.
Oh, I'm sure
they've got an entire team behind them. They're not real Uzbekistan people. I'm calling them out.
Look, there they go.
Oh,
that looks real to me.
No, they're probably models.
I don't know. Look, they're 1 hour of cooking in the
Calabasas.
Azerbaijani mountains. Hermit life with unusual recipes. I'm telling you, look what they're doing. They're doing.
That looks great.
Doesn't it look good? See?
It looks so good.
You could come into my algorithm.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Rustic tacos that stay in your head until you cook them. What? What does that mean? Look, she's got a hat on.
Oh, see, but that
and she's got
that
a little.
could be a prop. That could be a set.
She's real. I think
she does look real.
She does.
And she.
It's a nice knife for his back.
This
That's
woman,
a nice knife.
This woman.
Oh, look, they got branding on her knife. It says "Faraway Village" on her knife.
This woman in a small village in Eastern Europe, cooking out of a pot, has figured out social media better than me. Who, by the way, his life kind of depends on figuring out social media.
A very delicious kebab of fresh turkey on a campfire. Life in a mountain village, part 1.
This is so depressing.
Look at this.
I think that looks like the Valley. I'm being honest. That doesn't look. That looks fake.
Somebody write me. Somebody knows these people. Let me tell you how many followers they have. You're gonna just.
Oh, this is gonna piss me off.
Let's see. They have a lot. I don't know.
Got to get there.
It's a vlog. And then this is this guy. See, now this is definitely the same guy on a different. This is the heel chef. But that guy's in a lot of videos. I don't know. They all
crazy,
have different things. Oh, look, see, same woman. And now this is under a Facebook video called Basic Harmony.
It is crazy how much the
See, this is
algorithms
weird.
not just figure out what you're watching, but listen to you and they hear you, because I will start getting
330,000 followers. What are we doing wrong with our lives?
I hate this villager. I hate her. I hate all of her villager friends.
I want to eat the food. I want to eat it.
It's fantastic. They have this all figured out.
They really do.
Coming up next, little sports graffiti. Also going to let people know there's no way to shift other than awkwardly.
Yeah.
Luke Robitaille going to be joining us at 1:15, the Luke Robitaille Show. So that's going to be fun. Mason and Ireland, Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona Shelburne, 710 ESPN.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Waba Grill, it's for you. Are more flavorful for you. From sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, Crypto.com Arena is pulling back the curtain
and unveiling new behind-the-scenes VIP tours,
which offer an exclusive look inside one of the world's most iconic sports and entertainment venues. Expert guides will lead small groups through spaces that have hosted legendary sports championships, world-renowned concerts, and epic award shows. Guests will also explore the venue's VIP areas and experience the arena's latest renovations. For more info, visit cryptoarena.com/tours.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
There's LeBron and Luka, the dynamic duo taking over the NBA.
I can't believe that we just had an assist, LeBron James to Luka Doncic.
But before that, there was the original duo, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Ireland has an idea. I do. I think it's stupid, but there are other ideas out there.
More Mason and Ireland right now.
Somebody's going to write me and say, like, actually, that's my uncle and he's a paid actor.
There's a part of me that doesn't want it to be that. There's a part of me that desperately wants it to be that.
Momo, that was filmed in Fraser Park.
Yes, just because,
Not
again,
Azerbaijan.
to make me feel better about my lack of social media prowess. Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona Shelburne in for the guys. 7:10 ESPN, and it is time for Sports Graffiti. What do you have, 20 seconds, 30 seconds?
Short time.
Short time.
We don't clock it, but,
okay.
keep it
I
short.
thought it was clocked.
No, it is not clocked.
Okay, you have a short amount of time to talk about anything you want. 877-710 ESPN. Let's begin with James. You're on Sports Graffiti. What's up, James?
Hey, I'll make this quick. 2 points. I love the show. You guys are great.
Thanks.
Yes. I'm an older person, and what I'm trying to do is social media is definitely going to be a part of it, but because we have careers and other things we have to bring income to our family for, it does seem like a lot of work because we are on the trying to figure out side of it.
Yeah.
My next point is this. There's a lot of people saying that the NBA is different. The guys are too chummy. They like each other. But they have to understand, a lot of these guys came up from conditions that were not good. These guys, known friends at an early age, lost their lives. So for them to make money playing a sport that they love, and a lot of them grew up in the same type of environment, it makes them feel different, not like generations past where it's like, tear their head off, stomp them down, get the win. They feel different about it. Not saying that their intensity is different. It's just they don't want to tear their head off in that sense of back in the days because they grew up different, and they're appreciative of what they can do that will bring income to their family for generations. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Love the show.
appreciate the call. I understand the point. I think that's I don't think that's new. I think, most people didn't grow up like Klay Thompson, right? Most people didn't grow up the sons of NBA players or whatever it is, whatever background. That's not new.
There's this mythology that for some reason will not die, that these older generation players all hated each other 24/7, even though we've seen Magic and Isaiah used to give each other the cheek kiss before a finals game would begin. We've seen footage of Michael Jordan playing cards and going out with his playoff opponents during series. Like, we've seen all of this stuff.
I do think there was a bit more competitiveness, like a sort of every game matters. Like, do you know when Michael Jordan was 40, he played every single game, all 82, including the All-Star game? Like, with a knee that he had to have, which is why I thought LeBron wanted to play all 40 because he wanted to do, those are the kinds of things that he can do. He's already broken every record, so let's just try to match Michael on that one, right, at age 40. But I do think there was a little more, there was more, because we all grew up around that, and I'm not saying, like, the stars didn't care, but, like, Magic and Larry feud, that was real.
Sure.
Like,
but
all
there
those
are feuds
teams,
now. I mean, look at Luka and Devin Booker. Like, those two dudes hate each other.
To me, the biggest difference, there's two big differences. One, the money. The money's a lot more. Like, it's just by it's exponentially more than it used to be. Like, you always did well as an NBA player, but, like, it's exponentially more now. And so it's when the money's there, people.
But there's also an element, too, though. The money is so big now, and when these owners pay guys $40 million, $50 million, $60 million a year for those type of salaries, they want them available for the playoffs.
Right.
So the owners are...
Yeah, culpable, too.
Right. They're prioritizing this. Yeah. Like, these guys would not be able to load manage, if that's what you want to call it, if the owners weren't okay with it. They see their investment also for the playoffs. So, I mean, it's all part of the same thing. Mitch, you're on Sports Graffiti. What's up, Mitch?
Hey, how you guys doing?
New Jersey Mitch.
Before I get to my...
We're going to let that how you doing go slide. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, how about what's possible? How you doing?
Okay,
I'm really originally from Staten Island, but
Let's
who
go.
cares? Chargers should make a move for Cup. I don't think it cost them a first-round pick.
Ooh, I like that.
Has some stuff left. And you were talking about shows. One character, I love King of Queens as much as Seinfeld.
Whoa.
Oh, well.
Did he hang up on us? Was that you, Greg?
He'll be back tomorrow.
All right. But
it
you know
was
what?
my fault. It was an accident.
Oh, man.
He'll be back. I'm not worried
about Mitch. He's not supposed to say, how you guys doing? That's the part.
right.
But I'm going to let it slide.
Okay. No, I just hit the wrong button trying to pick up the phone.
Jeez, that poor guy.
Greg's still frazzled
You know
from
what?
the meeting.
I did really like his point about the Chargers getting Cooper Kupp. That is a way to get under the Rams' skin.
Well, I don't know if it gets under their skin if it's a guy they're looking to get rid of anyway.
I know, but that's a good point. Like,
I mean,
look, Cooper Kupp has a signature smoothie at Erewhon. I don't know if you know that.
Not anymore.
I didn't know.
It is gone.
It's gone?
The $22 smoothie is gone. There was a Jack Flaherty one too. That's gone.
Yeah, but wait,
there's only the Haley Bieber now.
If he goes and gets traded, I was just there like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, gone.
It was
I
there.
tried to get it the other day.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, there was a D'Angelo Russell one.
Yep, that's gone too.
He got traded.
So does Erewhon know something we don't know? Like Cooper Kupp's definitely going to be gone?
Seriously, what is that about?
I mean, it's been gone for a little while, but yeah.
I was there like in January. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe yours still has it.
So anyway, if he's on a team in Los Angeles and he's catching passes from Justin Herbert, I kind of like that idea.
That makes it spicy.
Yeah.
I don't think the Rams are going to be that upset if it's a guy they're looking to get rid of anyway. But it makes it more interesting, and it's easier for Kupp. He doesn't have to actually leave.
Yeah, and Erewhon can bring back a smoothie.
Yeah,
that was my point.
That's where we all win. Harold, you're on Sports Graffiti. What's up, Harold?
I wish you guys take more calls and a little less talking. Let the fans get in. We only have a short time. Why isn't UCLA Bergman? Why isn't UCLA in the top 25 yet?
Because they just lost to Illinois on the road, and they should be in the top 25, but the loss to Illinois made it so they were not going to get in, even though they beat Indiana in Indiana. It's too bad. They'll learn it when it gets to the playoff, to the March Madness.
All right, according to Harold, let's move it along.
Exactly. And by the way, Harold, don't call in saying you need more calls when you're on the phone taking your call.
Right, exactly. Harold wasted his own.
I get the point. It's okay.
His purse sucked. Chris Ward, you're on Sports Graffiti. What's up, Chris?
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
Hope
Chris.
you guys are doing well. If Mason and Ireland couldn't be there, I'm glad the dynamic trio had to jump in.
There we go. How are you?
Yeah, man, we got a big Canna party coming up this Friday. It's the original Canna Mart. We're throwing the Sweetheart Smokeout. We booked Tomorrow's Bad Seeds, one of the biggest reggae bands out right now. So come on through. Original Canna Market, Sweetheart Smokeout, baby.
I appreciate the call. I respect Chris using his time on Sports Graffiti, not to talk any sports, but to promote his event.
Yeah.
That's smart work by Chris.
We do say you can talk about whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah, we do say that.
Right, but I think most people would not actually have the stones to say, I'm going to ignore basically the premise of creating topics, and I'm just going to promote my thing.
I didn't mind Harold. I didn't mind Harold calling in saying you guys talk too much. Everybody tells me I talk too much.
But
It's okay.
he didn't say we didn't talk too much. He said you guys don't take enough
more
calls
calls,
as
yeah.
we're calling, as he's picking up your
Right.
phone call.
And as he's wasting the time that we could cycle through more calls.
Yeah,
true.
Like if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Right.
Remember what I told you about
we're
the
talking about it
PTA
still. We should still talk about it and take no more calls just to spite Harold.
Dan, you're on Sports Graffiti. What's up, Dan?
Okay, Larry David.
Yeah, hey, real quick, I will take Cooper Kupp in a minute. I'm a big Charger fan.
There you go.
And then I got a theory on the NBA games. Ratings down. Games are just too long. And there's one reason why. I refereed for 20 years. The refereeing is horrific. They have all these reviews. They can't get calls right that are obvious calls. It slows flow of the game down. There's no flow in those games.
Huh. So when you call them, you never, did you ever referee at this level, though, at the NBA level?
College.
Okay,
the best
yeah.
call is a no.
Yeah.
The best call is a no call.
Let me ask you a question, Dan. Do you think that because the NBA game has gotten so fast and so
That's what I was
athletic,
getting at, yeah.
I think it's harder to call now than it used to be. Do you think it would be helped if they added another ref on the court?
No, it's too many.
Yeah.
They just number one, they got to get the obvious calls right. Out of bounds, you got to get it right. Okay, block charge, they don't know one from the other. You never know what they're going to call. So and it goes to review. They hold it up. That slows the game down. I like games where there's no. I like games where there's no calls.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That's a good referee. Because to me, the referees should understand, like, nobody wants, no offense, but nobody wants to see you play.
No.
It's about seeing the players play and get out of the way and let them play.
Daisy, you're on Sports Graffiti. What's up, Daisy?
I don't know what you're picking up, but
it said Daisy.
There is no Daisy.
Well, Daisy's gone.
That must have been the one you
Ross.
hung up on.
Ross on line one.
Ross, you're on Sports Graffiti.
Yes.
Hi, I want to ask you guys, help me to understand. I'm only an old 79-year-old Vietnam veteran.
All right.
Thank you for your service.
I'm not that bright, but help me to understand how you can trade away all NBA offense and defensive star, such as AD, and get a one-way all-pro NBA, such as Luka, and you lose all your rim protection, all your shot blocking, and the difference between them offensively this year was less than 2.5 points a game offensively.
So I'm going to question your premise that you're not that smart, because I think that's a smart comment. That's why the Mavericks did the trade. That's why the Mavericks wanted Anthony Davis so bad. The only thing I would point out is that Luka's 25 and AD's 31. And Luka was about to make $354 million. Now he can only make $229. So the Lakers saved a lot of money. The Mavericks saved money. The only problem with the Mavericks now is AD makes $50-60 million a year, and he's due for an extension. And so you're going to be paying him $60+ million a year when he's in his mid to late 30s. So that's where that falls down. Like, if you're the Lakers, you want to pay the younger guy, no matter how much it is. If it's going to be a lot, you want to pay the younger guy.
It gives you a longer runway for planning. It just makes it easier when you actually have a path. And Luka is not even 26. Let's squeeze in Devin before we go. You're on Sports Graffiti. What's up, Devin?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I just had 3 quick points. Number one, I'm a huge basketball fan, NBA fan. I just think the NBA product isn't good anymore. I don't think there's any defense. There's no real rivalries. And none of the players seem to care anymore. They're rich. You know, it just seems they just going through the motions and just don't care. And then one more thing on the NBA as a league, I think they have a lack or lack thereof to produce superstars right now. They have a lack of superstars in the NBA, and I just don't see them being able to create any.
Well,
with Anthony Edwards coming out with this comment saying, you know, I don't want to be the guy. Wemby's the guy. It's just like nobody cares and nobody wants to step up to the plate and, like, be the man.
Well, Devin, we got to run, but just so you know and keep listening, that is a topic that's going to come up in this show, the idea of who is not, who can be, who cannot be the face of the NBA moving forward. Maybe Luke Robitaille has thoughts on this.
Yeah, we should ask him.
He's been the face of the Kings, and he's been one of the biggest stars in the NHL, and he's going to be joining us for the Luke Robitaille show. That is coming up next. Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona Shelburne, in for the guys, 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap.
Today at 3 p.m. after Mason and Ireland.
Cappy, you know who I ran into yesterday at the game?
Tell me.
The young man who could be the number 1 quarterback in the NFL draft.
Was that Cam Ward?
It was. He was in the kind of the front row right there near our broadcast position.
Yeah.
I said hello. I chatted him up for a few minutes. I told him congratulations. I'm super excited for his career. He's a Texas kid.
Oh, he is.
There's like a Netflix documentary that's coming out about him called The Zero Star or something.
Oh, wow.
Did he have any ice on?
He did have a little bit, but nothing like crazy.
I mean, George, you know what ice means? You do understand the word ice, though, right?
Yes, Cappy.
I mean, I just didn't know if you know. I mean, I know when DeAndre says ice. I mean, I clearly know what he's talking about, but I didn't know if you would know what ice meant. You feel me?
The LA Afternoon Takeover. That's Sedano and Cap
on 710 ESPN.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Right now, get 2.99% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offer ends March 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Hey, it's Steve Farr. Is there a sporting event you always wanted to go to but never had time to plan? That's where Absolute Sport comes in. They handle everything, tickets, hotels, VIP access, so you can just live in the moment and enjoy the experience. And because of their trusted league and travel partnerships, they can get you the best deals and actually save you money. So what are you waiting for? Visit us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport and make your sports dream a reality.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Hey, it's Bethel Duran. When you get into an auto collision and damage your vehicle, there's only one spot for you to call. That's my guy Leo at Active Collision. Experienced paint and body technicians will make your car look like it's brand new. You get a free estimate when you call 626-330-0100. They work with all insurance companies. Mention 710 and you get 50% off your insurance deductible. Call 626-330-0100, 626-330-0100, or visit activecollisionrepair.com.
Mason in Ireland on 710.
I've got to be honest. I have no idea how you do it.
I'm not sure how I do it.
I would not. Would not be my scene.
More of Mason in Ireland right now.
Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona Shelburne in for the guys. And the NHL right now is one of the big talking points of sports right now. Everybody's excited about the new All-Star format, the U.S. versus Canada, everything happening right now. So it's an exciting time to talk with Luc Robitaille, I guess the star of the Luc Robitaille show.
Yeah.
We could not have
he's
this
the headliner.
Yeah, you couldn't have without Luc Robitaille. Luc, how are you?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Do Mason and Ireland credit you as the star of the Luc Robitaille show? Because if they don't, I'm just saying it right now. You are the star. It's not them.
They have not credited me. We were trying to come up with a better name last week, and we couldn't come up with a better name yet, but we have to.
Yeah. So, Andy, have you ever been a part of the Luc Robitaille show?
Yeah. I was on with Mace and the star, Luc, a couple weeks ago.
Luc, how did you feel that Andy did as part of the Luc Robitaille? Is he going to be part of the cast?
It was one of the proudest moments of my career.
Wow.
Really?
Wow. That makes me feel great. Thank you, Luc.
There you go.
Wow, that was a nice thing to say.
I mean, it's a hell of a slide against Mason or Ireland, but
that's
still.
Okay.
I mean, it's really a dig at those guys, but nonetheless, I feel great.
Yeah. Well, hey, how are you feeling after your birthday? You didn't party hard enough that you could still join us today?
I'm feeling pretty good. You get to a point where you try to celebrate them a little bit less than you used to, and I think I'm there now.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
But there is an age.
Though. It was fun.
There is an age though when you really celebrate. Like when you get to be 80 or 90, that's when you're like, "Hey, I'm still here."
Yeah.
Throw a big party.
Yeah, that's right. When you're still there at 80, you're like, "Okay, this is gonna be time to party for sure."
Do you mind if we reveal your age on air, Luc? Is that okay?
Yeah, no, I don't care. 59.
59 years old.
You're 60.
I was going to say, if you want to get a preview for what life is like at 60 and how to celebrate it, Steve Mason is turning 60 this year and has a big birthday bash coming up that I'm sure he would invite the star of the Luc Robitaille show to. If you want to see, start getting some ideas.
A big bash?
Yeah.
He's going. Well, guess what he's done this whole year? He has been working out. Okay, he got a trainer. He's sending us pictures, and he looks like angry weightlifting guy, selfie guy every day because he wants to look ripped when he turns 60. That's his whole plan.
Good for him. That's it.
I'm sure there's going to be more. But there's sort of like an action star quality. He'll probably buy like an expensive sports car. Something like that.
Good for him. That's awesome.
Hey,
that is great. That's actually a good plan, though, to work out the whole year. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Hey, how do you feel about this Four Nations Cup, man? It's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been really good. You know, the league is always looking to do things that can kind of move the needle, and we used to do these tournaments. We used to call them Canada Cup or World Cup and so forth. But they were always like in September.
Oh, right.
So everyone in Canada would watch them, but in the U.S., it didn't move the needle because this is when football starts and you got baseball in the playoffs. And so to be able to do it right after the Super Bowl where, you know, you got some basketball and that's it, I think that was the best idea. And then as it turned out, you make hockey players play for their country. it turns to like a bloodbath, especially when the teams are really good. And the 4 teams in this tournament have been really good, but obviously Canada, U.S. have been the 2 superpowers the last 10 years or so. So it certainly is. It's going to be really exciting this Thursday. It's rare that you see events that go above what the sport is. This is like Canada versus U.S. and looking at what happened last Saturday, I think it should be a lot of fun.
Well, I heard the tickets are going for $4 or $5, at least $1,000 to get in. Some of them are like 5 figures to get into Boston to TD Garden there. What's fun is we just got through with the NBA All-Star Game, and you have your tournament going on at about the same time. In the NBA All-Star Game, all the talk is how do you get the players to care? How do you get them to play hard and compete? Whereas the hockey tournament has been amazing. There's the blood sport out there.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw or you heard last Saturday the first
fights
game
in the first 9
minutes.
minutes.
And it's kind of in the first 9 seconds. Yeah, there was 3 fights, and it was like they want to set the tone, and it was absolutely crazy. But I think what makes it interesting in this tournament is like it's kind of like you have to play well every game, and then it goes to the final, which is 1 game and winner takes all. It's so anytime you have a chance to have a game 7 or it's like a Super Bowl format. It's like it's 1 game and winner takes all. So it makes it really fun to watch, no matter whether you like the sport or not.
Talking with Luc Robitaille, NHL Kings legend, the star of the Luc Robitaille Show, obviously. Is there something about hockey, you think, culturally, that works for events like this? Because other sports, like even very popular, successful leagues, are having trouble adding juice to their all-star games or some of these sort of events within the season, and the NHL does not seem to be having this problem at all.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, our All-Star games in the last few years have been kind of boring. There were a couple of years where we went 3-on-3, and it kind of made it fun, but after a couple of years, it suddenly was not quite as interesting unless you got to the final game. But I think what makes hockey interesting that we're able to do these, it's like going to the Olympics next year. What makes it interesting is it's a worldwide game. So there's great players in Sweden, great players in Finland. In Swiss, there's some great players. Germany now has come up as a country. And obviously, if Russia is able to get back into those World Cup tournaments or Olympic format, they always have, like, unbelievable players. And then you got the U.S. suddenly that's become the last 20 years like a force, and Canada has always been there. So it makes it at those tournaments, like you got like 4, 5, 6 teams that can win it all. It's not like even in the Olympic, the Summer Olympics, when the NBA goes, you pretty much know the U.S. is going to win.
Yeah.
Versus like when you go to the Olympics and hockey, you really don't know who's going to win. It could be any of those top countries.
Well, this is a great week for hockey. Right, Thursday is the big championship game in the Four Nations championship game, and that's Canada versus U.S. And then you guys already start practice again, right? You have games Saturday and Monday, and skate for LA with the benefit for all the people affected by the wildfires. That's Sunday. You guys got the coaches lined up.
We got a pretty exciting weekend coming up. Our guys are starting to skate as we speak at 2 p.m. today, so. It's kind of fun to see everybody coming back, and then obviously we got a big game Saturday and a big game Monday, but right in between, like where it's pretty rare that our arena is empty, so we were able to put in like this charity event to raise money for our first responders. So we're excited about it. We're getting great response, and the league's working hard to promote the game and to make sure it's broadcasted like across North America on this Sunday. So we're really excited.
Who are the coaches?
I got Danny DeVito as a coach. I got Will Ferrell. I got Vince Vaughn. We got Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
We got a bunch of guys. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be Pete Davidson is going to be behind the bench. So we got a lot of guys that are coming in, and it's going to be a lot of fun behind the bench. We're going to mic those guys.
Okay.
So we'll see what they're about, if they can motivate their teams.
Do any of them get on the ice? Like, I'm wondering how many of these guys can actually ice skate. And a few of them might actually be good.
Yeah, some of the guys are like pretty good skaters. Like I know Taylor Kitsch, who skates like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
These are really good skaters, and there's a bunch of guys and a few girls that they could skate and they could go out there. So it's going to be fun. We got a bunch of alumni, too, coming in from the Kings and the Ducks, and Mark Messier is going to play. PK Subban is going to play. So we're going to be able to have good competition, but at the same time have a lot of fun and raise some good money.
You got to make sure to give Snoop, even though he's coaching, a little bit of time to call the action out there, because Snoop is incredible at calling basically any sport
they
he
paired
tries.
Snoop with Will Ferrell.
Well, about, I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago, we were the first one to put Snoop to do color for us for the Kings, and he did it during the game. I'd have to say, and then out of it, he ended up doing all the other events. But we were the first one. I give credit to our marketing crew.
Yeah.
They had worked with Snoop, and they let him do the whole second period, and it was so funny. It was like mixing up all the names, and we had a couple battles that happened in front of the net. It was riveting to hear him call the game.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
So you guys launched Snoop. I mean, there was a whole rap career before that.
Well, no, I think Snoop launched Snoop, but we just gave him the platform to call hockey.
Well, it just dawned on me, actually, that Snoop and Will Ferrell teaming up, that's a re-teaming from old school.
Oh, yeah.
Like Snoop and Will Ferrell have actually worked together before, so you know they've got chemistry. They understand each other.
Yeah, and Al Michaels with Danny DeVito. That's like, if there's a Miracle on Ice, you've got the original Miracle on Ice guy to call it.
I know. We got the call coming up. We should have a lot of fun on Sunday. We're really looking forward to it, yeah. And then, the cool thing is we're going to have all the first responders and their families in the crowd. We're going to have, it looks like we're going to have pretty much a sold-out building. So it should be a lot of fun to get all these good people, and it gives us an opportunity to say thank you to them for what they do for us.
Last question for you. 29 final games, I believe, left for the Kings this season.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest key for you guys finishing strong?
Well, we've been really good at home, and we got 21 of those games at home. So, those are important to win, and you want to play well and finish well. We've had this way to play all year that we make it tough for teams to play against us, and we got to tighten that up even more. And obviously, a couple guys have been, just finally starting to score goals. So if these guys can stay hot, and our guys keep playing the way we've been playing, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for us to get into the playoffs.
He is Luc Robitaille. He is the star of the Luc Robitaille Show every week on Mason in Ireland. Exciting time. You are the star, my man. I can't put it any other way. Exciting time right now for the Kings and for hockey. Appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
All right. Great talking to you. Have a good day, guys.
He's the star of the show. What are we going to say? I'm sure.
We got to give him a Mandy Award. Do you think he would come, Greg?
Absolutely. For a Mandy Award? Of course he will.
Yeah.
So I would hope so. By the way, do you know he has a very famous birthday? So his birthday was yesterday.
Okay.
Just think about the names that are on this list that he shares a birthday
Yesterday
with.
was what, February 17th?
17th.
Okay.
Michael Jordan, Ed Sheeran, Paris Hilton.
Wow.
Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
All right.
Jeremy Allen White.
The Bear.
Yeah, the Bear. Let's see. There's got Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Wow.
Vicente Fernandez, Denise Richards. It's crazy.
That is a very
Larry the Cable Guy, Jason Ritter,
God.
Taylor Hawkins.
Wow. It's like December 30th.
Michael
That's like...
Bay.
Wow.
There's just so many guys that he shares a birthday with.
I
Jim
really
Brown.
I
missed Jim Brown.
Game. I should have done the Game of Games as the birthday game.
Yeah, you should have. Jerry O'Connell.
Wow.
Those are people all born on that day.
All of the living still with us on February 17th. They should throw a birthday bash together. You do something like that for charity. That would raise a lot of money between all the people that they know and all the people that would be excited just to go to this party and see some of those people.
Yeah, there's certain
maybe meet
birthdays
them.
like that. Like December 30th, that's like LeBron James and Tiger Woods, I think.
Yeah, there's a few people on that one,
That's
too.
a good one.
But this is, God, so many people.
Well, you just got to do the math, in 10 months. So that would be like Easter.
Yeah, right.
Spring, people.
We do need
people
to
get
Luke,
excited around springtime and feel creative.
We do need to get Luke to the Mandy's.
Yeah, right.
I think we can get him to the Mandy's. I also think
he
if
might
he
win.
does this next week with Mason can get him to his birthday. I think that could be something that happens.
again.
I think Luke seemed like he liked you.
I mean,
he set him up.
It was a very fun time for him. I think he meant it.
You did not return the favor. You did not say, have you ever done the Luke Robitaille show with Momo?
I mean, Momo goes without saying he's going to enjoy his time with you.
I mean,
who doesn't in this city?
But like, that's what the co-host would do. Otherwise, I have to fish for the compliment myself, and I don't like to do
Again,
that.
it goes without saying, Momo.
Okay, well,
Luke Robitaille.
I mean, it's,
he had fun with you.
Yeah, you
had a good time. Can an international player be the face of the NBA? Stephen A. Smith offered a very strong opinion. We'll talk about that next, 710 ESPN.
The city of champions just got even brighter.
From Slovenia, Luka Doncic.
Luka's rocking the purple and gold, teaming up with LeBron, the king himself.
Here comes LeBron back the other way. LeBron down the middle. Another three. Good again.
And don't forget about Austin Reeves, ready to shine.
Stolen by Austin Reeves. Reeves to the rim. Slam dunk for a new career high.
Catch all the action, all the passion, all the drama, all the big shots.
Doncic dribbling one-on-one against Walker Kessler. Three-pointer over Kessler. It's good. Luka's first three is a Laker, and the place goes nuts.
Follow the Lake Show all season long as they look to make history. Luka, LeBron, and the Lake Show live here.
But how dangerous can this team be?
Very dangerous. On 710 ESPN.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. And our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you. From sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Enjoy President's Day savings all month long at Carden Alleyway Hyundai. Purchase a brand new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe SC for just 2.49% APR for 36 months. Plus, enjoy peace of mind driving with America's best warranty and Hyundai Assurance Program. Visit us today at Carden Alleyway Hyundai, just off the 91 freeway, or online at CardenAlleywayHyundai.com. On approved credit, 0 security deposit, 60 payments of $17.74 per $1,000 financed. Expires March 3rd, 2025.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. This can be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, a youngster who brightens your day. Tell us who's smiling and you could win some awesome prizes like sweet tickets from ESPN LA, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Peter. He loves his motorcycle. What he doesn't love is wind. Which is ironic, because wind is a big part of the whole wind-in-your-face motorcycle cliche. But nobody ever tells you how relentless a strong crosswind is, or the cliche wouldn't exist. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get a quote to see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams: Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
And it is Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Like, that's the problem in the world, is there aren't enough happy shows, fun shows.
Mason and Ireland.
710 ESPN.
Another shout out to Chris Morales and our best wishes for his recovery. A little yacht rock for him.
Yeah, there you go.
Little Christopher Cross.
Is he listening? Do you think he's got the station on?
I think he tries to listen. Also, I think it also makes him a little anxious because he wants to be here.
Yeah,
So,
totally FOMO.
Yeah. So
I know exactly what that's like.
I'm sure he listens.
I was like that when I had my back surgery. I was like laid up and I was trying to watch Netflix all the time, but then I really wanted to get out of the house, so I'd turn on the radio and then it would just make me like, man, I want to call in. I would like text you guys all the time.
Yeah.
Remember
Hey,
that?
by the way, Momo, yeah, I do remember that. But I
Yeah.
also, before you get into anything, I want to come in and bring something for you. I got something in the mail today, the other
Really?
day for you.
For me?
For you. 1 second.
Okay, let's see what it is. Do we know what it is? I know what it is. Okay. Oh, I have an idea.
It's right there.
15-year anniversary. Nice. This is pretty cool. Look, okay, so when you work at Disney, there's like a lot of good perks, okay? But you get like the Disneyland pass, so you can take your kids there. And I had to like, get ticket. You get to go for free and with your kids, right? And then every 5 years, you get like a cool award.
Ooh, the Sorcerer Mickey Award.
I hope I don't drop this. All right, let's see. You guys want to see this live on air? Okay. Whoa!
This is a cool thing that ESPN does,
Look
or
at
Disney
that!
does.
Look at that!
I want one of those.
It's a trophy with Mickey from Fantasia.
You know what it's like? Remember how I told Luke that for a while you don't want to celebrate your birthday too much, and then then when you get old enough, you're like, you really do. Like when you get to be 80, you're like, I'm still here. So I think the 15-year one is like, I'm still here.
You need to raise it over your head like a like you just won the MVP or something. Look at that.
This might be ironic someday. I don't know.
Oh, and you also get a pin.
Oh, I got one of those.
I just got my 5-year pin.
5 years. So these are life goals.
Those are mine, yeah.
Career goals.
See, now I should be at my 15 or even longer, but my time keeps getting interrupted. Yeah.
There's an interlude.
You unfortunately don't get awarded for non-consecutive.
Do you want my pin? I'll give you my pin.
Well, I've got plenty of start-stop pins.
How many times have you had to go to rookie camp?
I've never.
Oh.
I have never not only not gone to a rookie camp, I've never been to Bristol.
Wow.
I've gotten out of going to Bristol every time.
You should go to Bristol.
You know what? It wasn't even me saying no. Every time they wanted me to go, my editors overrode it because at the time there was something they needed me to do.
Yeah.
So they were like, we'll figure
I know,
it out
for a
later.
long time I didn't go, and then there was a stretch where I went all the time, and I was like, okay, that's enough.
Enough Bristol.
I've done enough. I know the drill now. I've seen the big satellites and stuff and where it's beamed since 1979.
I just got my 10 plaque. And now I'm looking, my eyes are on the prize.
But we started at the same time.
I know, but I've had more interrupted time, Momo.
It's good that we can laugh about it.
Mine's been, no, for the time being I can.
Yeah.
You never know.
There's times when we cry about it.
Yes.
But right now we can laugh about it.
Now we can laugh about it. So we were posing the question before, or really it was posed initially by Stephen A. Smith.
All right.
Whether or not an international player can be the face of the NBA. Do we have the sound of this? Stephen A. Thoughts?
My personal opinion is I don't believe an international player can be the face of the NBA. I know they're global iconic figures. Their popularity extends globally. But the NBA is an American-born sport. And it needs to resonate in America. And if it doesn't resonate in America, then it's not going to matter to America how you resonate beyond. And so that's just my mentality, UD. That's how I think about it. Not to say they can't be popular or what have you, but I just think about it that way. Shannon, as to your point that you made yesterday, UD wasn't here when you made it. I understand your point, and you're absolutely right. You can't want something more for somebody else than they want for themselves. And I totally get that. But that doesn't mean I'm not entitled to my wish list. And my wish is that Anthony Edwards changes his mind. And the reason why is because, my favorite players are him and Steph Curry. And where I fell in love with Anthony Edwards wasn't with the dunks or whatever. It was when the playoffs showed up last year and that brother was giving it to the Phoenix Suns. That to me was the nail in the coffin, UD, because he was talking major smack to his idol, Kevin Durant. And he was going after him. Remember, I'm somebody that feels very, very highly about Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker's an absolute stud. I watched that brother get on the court against them brothers and just shrink them. Let them know there was levels to it, and I don't know who told y'all were on it, but y'all ain't, and went at them.
It's a lot there.
There's a lot, and there was some music, too.
There's a lot going on.
I was into that.
Well,
okay.
I think it's interesting, the idea, first of all, Stephen A. brings up about you have to want this.
That's 100% true.
Like Anthony Edwards went from the guy who openly declared, I want to be the face of the league, and now apparently doesn't want that for whatever reason. So the first step in all of this is you have to want it. Because a guy like Jokic, I think, has the talent and is such a unique, special player that if he wanted to be the face, I think he could transcend any international issue that Stephen A. thinks would get in the way. But he clearly doesn't want it.
I think he wants it. I think don't always believe what people say. Look at their actions. His actions say, I want to be the face of the league.
No, I think he wants to be the best player in the league. I don't think he wants to be the marketable star face of the league. There's a big difference. Tim Duncan wanted to be, I think, the best player in the league. Tim Duncan had zero interest in being the face personality of the league.
Do you have to really want it, though? I understand what you're saying, Andy, but I'm more on Momo's side with Jokic. He doesn't have to say he wants it to get it. It's almost like
he was just being respectful of Wemby.
Right.
Like, I thought he was just saying, like, no, that's Wemby. Because Wemby is amazing, and because Wemby
Wemby has a personality that I think would engender himself to being the face. To me, they're separate.
Did LeBron
issues.
ever say, I want to be the face of the league?
No, but he tattooed King James on his arm.
Right. It's all there.
No, I think LeBron made it pretty clear I want to be face of the league.
Kobe say it. I don't know if people said it.
Kobe kicked Shaq out of town.
Yeah.
But didn't
pretty confident Kobe wanted to be face of the league.
That's right. Okay, let me go next level.
And
wait,
he
hold
had,
on.
Yep.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We gotta go clapper. We do the clapper vision. I'm gonna do the Momo vision. You ready? Okay. You have to really understand Anthony Edwards to understand what he talked about. How many times Anthony Edwards got fined this year? Many. Like, I think he's paid several $100,000 in fines already this year because he has a potty mouth. He likes to curse. He says things to officials a lot. Does gestures. He's constantly. I've gotten like so many press releases on him getting fined.
Yeah.
And when you are constantly getting slapped on the wrist by the league, I think that is where a comment like, "Oh, that's what they got Wemby for," comes from. In other words, Wemby does not run afoul of the league and its office. Wemby has not been fined. Wemby is the good boy who does what the league wants him to do, etc. He's not in trouble. And I think Anthony Edwards probably feels some type of way about that, which I don't blame him for. Also, but you just can't curse on live TV. That's just something we all learn, okay? And some of the, he'll just decide he doesn't want to keep getting fined at some point and stop getting fined. That would have happened with Draymond Green at some point. Yeah. But there's a lot to that comment. This is not him not wanting it. This is him feeling like the league doesn't want that for him.
Well, if
he's just been getting punished all year.
Well,
his team hasn't been as good.
I think the league would love for Ant to emerge as that marketable face of the league.
But you got to win first.
You got to win first. You have to, in some ways, be willing to play the game.
Correct.
That maybe Ant isn't. But I think the league would love it if a young, what is Ant, like 23, 24?
Yeah, he's amazing.
They would love if a guy like him who oozes charisma.
Yes.
Like I remember I did an interview with Amy Nicholson. She's an LA Times film critic who's also a huge Laker fan. We were talking about hustle. She initially thought Anthony Edwards.
He was a great actor.
She thought he was an actor.
Yeah.
She actually did not realize that he was an NBA player, but he was so good in that role.
Yeah, he was.
For Ant, I think it's a question of A, does his team ever become good enough? But B, is he willing to play the game? But somebody like Wembanyama, for example, who I think is willing to play the game, but also I think has charisma. He's not shy. He will speak his mind, and he's super talented, international or not. And there's no language barrier or anything like that with Wemby. He could absolutely be the face of the league.
I think he can, and I would say this: there have been several American-born players who were supposed to be like the next guy, right? Mm-hmm. Their first Kyrie was going to be the next guy, and that they had some public scandals and comments that got him in trouble. There was a fight with Nike and all that stuff. Then there was Ja Morant.
The league was
dying for it to be Ja Morant, right? Then there was Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That hasn't panned out. He just can't stay on the court and be healthy. And there's been some off the court stuff as well, not so flattering. And that like Anthony Edwards was like the next guy. Okay, your turn. You want to be can you be the leading man? And whatever you want to say about LeBron not showing up or pulling out of the game at the last minute or whatever it is, that guy, LeBron James, has been responsible and played that role for 20 years, 22 years. Yeah. Steph Curry plays the game. Like, they know how to do what is expected
This
of them.
is really a
They don't have a
conversation.
huge, big scandal on their name. They don't have, like, the worst thing LeBron did was, like, say, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, okay, and got a little out over his skis on that. And he learned from it. Hasn't had things like that before. Whether you love him or hate him,
He's been remarkably scandal-free for a guy who's
Steph
been in
Curry,
the public
same
eye.
thing.
Yeah, and this is really a conversation about post-LeBron, Steph, KD.
Yeah.
Like, the OGs, the Olympics and that interview they just recently did with the three of them sitting together. This is really a conversation about who takes over for those guys in the same way that, like, we were all watching 20 years ago to see, can LeBron, Melo, and Wade, like, are those guys really capable of being the faces of the next generation of the league? And the answer was yes.
Yeah.
They were all great in those roles.
Why can't Luka be the next face of the league? He's
Okay,
going to be in Los Angeles on the best player on, you were thinking possibly the best team in LA. Why isn't he going to be the face?
Okay, so I think this is an excellent point because we have a guy in LA who plays baseball who is the face of Major League Baseball and is a Japanese-born player.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, best player in the game. I know there's a little debate about Aaron Judge last year, whatever. Shohei's the best player in the game. It's not even close. He's an outstanding pitcher. He's an outstanding hitter. He stole 50-something bases last year. Nobody does that. And he is the face of baseball, and baseball is fine with that. Baseball is America's pastime, and they have a Japanese face of the America's pastime, and it's fine because Shohei is that good. Like, he is legendarily. I'm making up a word.
Legendarily great.
Yeah. I mean, he is one of the best baseball players, if not the best baseball player of all time. I think you have to be that good.
I think also, though, the big difference between baseball and the NBA is baseball, nobody expects these guys to have personalities anyway. So it really can be all about the field. Like, when is the last time a baseball player, their personality was a story? Like Bryce Harper?
Yeah.
And then
Mookie. I think Mookie's got some personality.
Sure. But
he's just so clean cut and does everything so well. There's nothing to hate
Well,
for
you project
on him.
onto him.
Right.
Like, I mean, when you don't have a lot of personality, when you're not, that's not his brand. His brand is, I'm the best baseball player ever. Right. Like, I'm
And I
really
like
good.
to bowl.
Yeah. Then little details form a lot.
But I
like,
think
his dog is this giant, like, how many people waited outside
Decoy,
the stadium to get the bobblehead of him and the dog, right? I mean, that's like, what do we know about Shohei? We know he had bad choice in his best friend and interpreter. We had bad judgment there. We know he's getting married, or did he get married?
Yes, he's
part
married.
of Ohtani's brand.
And as a dog.
Part of Ohtani's brand for a while was secrecy.
Yeah.
That actually was the Ohtani brand. We don't know a damn thing about him.
But his brand is the game. He's great at the game. And I think that's, to me, when you look at basketball, that's one of the biggest issues, is that it's about everything other than the game right now.
There was a period where the league clearly wanted to be very personality driven.
Yeah.
And I think it worked really well for a while.
Until social media.
Right. I think we've reached a bit of a tipping point now where it becomes too much about everything but the game.
Yeah.
And then it makes it so there becomes that extra criteria for who is the face of the NBA. It's not enough just to be incredible on the court. You have to have a type of personality that I don't think is necessary for baseball, for football.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the three best players in the league right now are all foreign-born. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Canadian. Giannis is from Greece. Jokic from Serbia.
And Luka's in the conversation.
And Luka's in the conversation, too.
Yeah, it's just very different questions for very different sports. Coming up next, a little What's Up, Fool? Bergie and BC are going to lead that. 710 ESPN.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back tomorrow at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
I don't think I ever heard my mom or dad use a profanity until I was maybe in high school.
Yeah.
And you rarely heard adults use profanities in mixed company. Almost never. Walk through the grocery store.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you're going to hear it in the grocery store.
Really?
Like, if you really listen, it's crazy. It's ubiquitous.
Okay.
It's not even. It almost has lost all of its juice.
It lost a lot of meaning. It's just an extra word.
It's an
to say.
adjective a lot of
I try
times.
not
An
to,
adverb.
but every
It can be
now
used
and
in a
then-
lot of different ways too. Like The F word is used in every single way you can.
But, I mean, it's still the F word.
I agree.
You can't use it in school or church, right?
We don't say it on the air.
I mean, maybe,
School and church
you can't say it on the air.
School and church might be the last two places you might not hear it. And by the way, if they use it in church, I might go.
That would be so much more fun, right?
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone, up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard, so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on My Plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun and excitement? You got to check out Chumba Casino. It's 100% free to play. No purchase required. Enjoy hundreds of thrilling social casino games anytime, anywhere, like bingo, slingo, slots, and solitaire. Get in the action. Play now for a chance to redeem some serious prizes at ChumbaCasino.com.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Mason and Ireland on LA's mega sports station.
I'm going to come out with something right here. I don't work as hard as John Ireland and have no interest in it.
Right now, more of Mason and Ireland on 710.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
All right, thank you, Brian. I'll take it away for you guys today. So, big changes coming up in Los Angeles Unified School District. I know you guys have some
I know
kids,
all about this.
so,
I get
yeah.
17 calls a day.
Right, so apparently...
PTA lady.
Right, today is the day that kids return to class without any phones. So
Yeah.
the phone ban is in full effect. No smartwatches,
I
smart
believe my
glasses.
daughter
too
snuck
now.
her phone to school today because I did not know.
This is my, question.
No, they show up. They have a pouch that you're supposed to put it in, and then you get it back at the end of the day.
Okay, see, I was kind of curious
reading
how
about
they
that.
would implement this,
Yeah.
but how hard do you think it is for kids these days to give up the phone? You know, a lot of these kids are quote-unquote iPad kids raised on it. Is this going to be tough for them to pay attention in class without it?
Think how hard it is for us as adults without, having to put our phone down for a second. Like, we all second nature look at our phones.
Yes.
For kids that it's all they know, it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, it's really. I'm so glad that LAUSD did this. I'm so glad. This is like a trend all over the country. There's so many things that, like, I started doing a cell phone, like iPad detox for my oldest, for Daniel, because, like, it's just too easy as a parent to do that. Like, I need to do something here, watch YouTube for a minute, watch this show for a minute. But then they get in, like, kids' brains are not made to function like that.
Nope.
They're just not. Like, ours aren't either. But we at least grew up without it. So in our formative brain-forming years, right, personality forming, we were...
Formative brain-forming years?
Yep. Clearly. Really good sentence there, Momo.
Good thing you went to Stanford.
Think how bad it would have been if you were raised by the phone.
Yeah, I would have been all over the place on that.
I know.
So I have my daughter is 13.
Yeah.
She's in the Conejo Valley School District, so she does not have this band
It's
just
coming.
yet. It's coming, but there are people in my complex that that go to LAUSD, yeah, and they're starting it. And she's the little girl that's friends with my daughter said she's bringing in a fake phone to put in the case so that she can talk on her actual phone. Like, they're going through all these different processes to try to get rid of. Yeah,
No, but they're really going to get in trouble.
no,
Like,
she's going to get into a ton of trouble.
yeah, they're going to get in trouble.
Which is
Like
pretty
I was,
normal.
if you feel like, okay, listen, I'm going to be watching the faraway village people cook, in Uzbekistan or wherever they are.
Fake Uzbekistan people.
I think it's real. Come on, don't ruin it for me.
Filming in Canoga.
Okay, but like they were cooking a wild turkey. I mean, amazing. She was pulling the feathers out.
It
It's
looked
cool.
great.
Yeah. And like, I think, like, I'm gonna be watching that. But if you feel like going down a good rabbit hole, go read some of the stories about kids and cell phones and like the experiments they've done in schools where they take them away, and like how many fewer fights there are on the play yard in school. How much test scores improve. How much self-esteem scores improve. Like, it's literally every single metric is cell phones are terrible for our kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if all you need them for is just like, tell me when to pick you up or how are you doing, then this shouldn't be a problem.
What's up, Foo?
Okay, so last year, Frankie Muniz, once actor Frankie Muniz.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Right, got into Hal's dad, or Hal's son, Brian Cranston.
Yes.
Got into NASCAR. This is actually his first full year now going as a full-time NASCAR driver. This last Sunday at Daytona, finished 10th, which is, his best finish so far.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
And he's, fully committed. Everything he says is, this is all he wants to do now. No more, doesn't act anymore kind of deal. He's fully committed to a NASCAR
Is this going to get in the way? They're rebooting Malcolm in the Middle.
Really? How can they do Malcolm in the Middle without him?
Without Malcolm.
There's no one in the middle.
Exactly. But they are doing a reboot of this.
Oh, I'm all for that. I love the show, first of all. But my question here is, if you guys were, taking his lane
rebooting.
Not necessarily rebooting, but a, career switch.
Yeah.
And diving full headfirst into it. What's the career switch you want to make?
I've thought about this before.
I'm sure you have. You've had opportunities.
Yeah, it's true. There's periods where my non-consecutive ESPN, the periods that kept me ineligible for one of Momo's figurines over there, you get time to think about these things.
Yeah.
I would love to do something in the world of film, whether you're talking about,
you could do that.
I had been pursuing writing. I still work on scripts sometimes, or like a film historian, someone who wrote books about movies, taught film. I would love to be a chef. I would love to do something like that. Also, I briefly in high school, and I don't want to say flirting with it because I was serious about it. I really wanted to go into marine biology. And I applied to the University of Miami. I got in, and the only reason I was applying there is because they have the best marine biology undergrad program in the country.
UC San Diego's really good.
Well, Miami was
go
better.
ahead. Okay.
I ultimately decided at the time that I wasn't smart enough to do it. So
Why
I
did you
took
decide
myself.
that?
I just it sounded really intimidating, science, like all that. I decided not to do it. There are times when I do wish I'd gone down that road.
Dude, you know what that's like? That's like when I wanted to be an archaeologist because I liked Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And then I took an archaeology class and I was like, oh, you're kind of just sitting there with a toothbrush, like digging in the dirt, looking for somebody's
grunt work.
Toothpick. I mean, I think you just be looking in tide pools all day.
Also, rock drummer. I played drums in a garage band. I would love to pursue that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that. I think I would be like a good executive. I'd like to move into like the more corporate businessy side. It would require me to like dress better, I think. Get up earlier.
You'd have to be on time much more.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Probably not that.
What about you?
But I think you know what, my other rabbit hole. Wow, I'm going down a lot of rabbit holes trying to escape the world. Okay, just a little fantasy, a little escapist fantasy. I'm a part of a group on Facebook called Digital Nomads. Do you know what that is? It's like people offer up their houses, and people have this digital nomad lifestyle where they like work remotely. They get a spot. Oh, I'm gonna do a month in Croatia. I'm gonna do a month in Thailand, and like you can rent houses for like really cheap, like $500 for a month or whatever it is, and you just work remotely, and then you could be a digital nomad. I think that sounds fun. Just like live all over the world. I don't know. I have responsibilities and stuff. It probably wouldn't work.
Or kids, yeah.
Yeah, bring them with me. It kind of kills the vibe, though.
Yeah, I would imagine Norville's not excited about that, about that lifestyle. What about you guys?
Yeah.
I
mean, Brian, you're so young.
My original thing is kind of similar to you said. When I grew up, chef, you know?
Yeah, I can see
That was
you.
what I, love to cook. I love that feeling of like, when you hit that perfect meal.
Would you be a
it's
food
great
truck
feeling.
chef or would you be a restaurant chef?
That's a good question. I think my personality would fit the food truck
yeah, I
more.
do too.
Yeah,
I think
That's
so
a
too.
hard lane to occupy.
It is, and it's a stressful job. So
Yes,
that's why
it is.
I'm happy I'm here.
But you got to get some social media buzz to get people to follow your truck around and stuff.
Movie Uzbekistan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably would have ended up in something that I absolutely did not want to end up in, like finance.
Yeah,
being like an accountant or something like that, which just sounds awful in every sense.
It's a real job.
Really,
Ooh.
this is the only thing that it was going to be. It was either going to be in. Worked in a lot of restaurants, managing restaurants, and that's the last thing that I wanted to do too. I would have been very upset with my life.
Yeah,
that is a stressful job.
It is a very stressful job. This was much better, but that's probably where I.
You know what you could also do, Greg? I
What's
think
that?
you'd be a good NIL general manager.
Okay,
I
not
think
great
you
with
could be
money.
like no, but you could. But could you be like what Woj does at St. Bonaventures?
Sure.
Like help recruiting at UCLA.
Yeah.
And like be out there recruiting basketball players.
There's
and football
so
players.
much for you to fix at UCLA,
I know.
Greg.
Oh, I know.
feel like you'd be
they
good at
need a
that.
general manager at UCLA.
They could use a corporate Greg over there.
And you could be like hustling for sponsorship deals or NIL deals for the players, setting people
Oh
up.
God, that means I have to make phone calls and be in meetings and have to. God, I've already had enough of those. No, I love the thought. Never gonna happen. I'm never gonna be Woj. I can't be that.
Okay. I was just trying to help you out.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was gonna go to a restaurant. That's where I'll end up.
Bartender.
Yeah, I did that for a long time.
Yeah.
Me too.
Fun.
I could see that about all of you.
Are we out of fools?
Is that it?
To
Yes,
what's
we're
up?
out of fools.
Yes.
We're out of
That's it for
fools
today.
to what's up. All right, coming up next. I was waiting.
See what you did there.
Brian gave me like
The line?
This when there was just this look. Like I couldn't tell if we were done or if it was I got one more that I want to squeeze in. But
That's
we
kind of
are.
always
I'll save it
Brian's
for
look.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian's always got that look. It's mysterious.
All right, we
Pleasantly mysterious.
Thank you.
pleasant man of mystery. All right, coming up next, the LeBron-Luka relationship and dynamic. There has been a lot of whispering and body language reading, reports.
Oh, you're doing all that,
whatnot.
aren't you?
Well, I'm going to have you do it because that's coming up next, 710 ESPN.
The City of Stars has a new superstar.
Luka Doncic joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history.
The home of Luka and the Lakers is 710 ESPN.
Next Gen is the official AC heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. That's right. Is your heating and AC system ready to power through the season? From quick tune-ups to full replacements, Next Gen has you covered. For a limited time, ESPN LA listeners can get a heating and AC tune-up for just $88. That's right. Stay in the game all season with an $88 heating and AC tune-up from Next Gen. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN today.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256 or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call Avner answers. He says, hello. Your claim is our game. AvnerGat.com.
Located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, Crypto.com Arena is pulling back the curtain and unveiling new behind-the-scenes VIP tours, which offer an exclusive look inside one of the world's most iconic sports and entertainment venues. Expert guides will lead small groups through spaces that have hosted legendary sports championships, world-renowned concerts, and epic award shows. Guests will also explore the venue's VIP areas and experience the arena's latest renovations. For more info, visit cryptoarena.com/tours.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
There's LeBron and Luka, the dynamic duo taking over the NBA.
I can't believe that we just had an assist, LeBron James to Luka Doncic.
But before that, there was the original duo, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Ireland has an idea. I do. I think it's stupid, but there are other ideas out there.
More Mason and Ireland right now.
We just had a very funny off-the-air conversation.
Andy Kamenetzy.
Andy's still recovering.
Ramona Shelburne in for the guys, 710 ESPN. We're trying to figure out we're not going to get into all the details, but basically what kind of Mamba is Ramona?
Yes. And Andy said, I'm the Valley Mamba. And
She's the Valley Mamba.
And I said, how about I'm the Mama Mamba?
Mamba Mamba.
That's a hard thing to say, though.
Yeah, I like Valley Mamba better.
Valley Mamba's kind
Mamba
of more on
Mamba
brand.
is too confusing.
I've only been a mom for 6 years. I've been the Valley Mamba for 45
You
years.
were born into the role
really
of Valley
was.
Mamba.
Oh, actually, I was born in Santa Monica, but we moved to the Valley when I was 4. So,
Right.
Yeah,
This
4
was-
decades of Valley.
This was the role thrust upon you, Valley Mamba.
I have embraced it.
You're not originally from the Valley?
No, I was born at St. John's in Santa Monica.
Oh, I
And
always
lived in
thought you were
Santa
a
Monica.
Valley girl.
No, I mean, I
mean,
do say I claim it.
Okay.
I claim it. But I was not born and raised. I was just raised there.
How old were you when you
4.
moved to the Valley? Okay, yeah, you're fine. You're a Valley girl.
That's an
fine.
interesting question, though. Like, before
Yeah.
we get into this LeBron-Luka dynamic, how long do you have to live anywhere before you can claim it?
Yeah.
Like, I was raised in St. Louis. I was not born there. I was born in Phoenix, but we moved there when I was like 1 or 2. Lived from St. Louis till about 2 to 18. Since 18, this is the only place I've ever lived.
Right.
I've lived in L.A. like twice as long as I ever lived in St. Louis or anywhere else.
That's enough.
I feel like I can claim L.A.
It's also your personality is so much more LA.
Yeah.
You can claim LA, but you're from St. Louis.
Well, I don't claim to be a native, but like I consider myself an Angelino.
I mean, you talk about film, you write scripts.
I put in my time too.
I mean,
like I have put in.
You've been a bartender.
I put in
to
the
pay
year,
the bills.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
these are so LA. Like LA is a city of transplants.
I have been drunk in maybe a third of the bars in this city, like in my heyday. I feel like I've put in the work. I cover for like 20 years, dare I say, the most important team in this city, the Lakers. I have covered the Dodgers before.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I am one with Los Angeles.
Andy, this is the number one question I have to ask you. Did you come here with a dream?
I did come here with a dream.
So you're LA.
Yeah, I did.
That's what people come to LA for. Everybody has a dream.
See, but I mean, Santa Monica is still kind of LA. So you're still, I mean, you're from LA. You are an LA native.
Yeah.
I'm an LA
I'm
native,
an
but
LA
I actually,
native.
But I feel like I'm more of a Valley native than LA. I'm
You're
more from the
absolutely
Valley
still
than I am
LA.
from LA.
Well, I've known you.
No, people in LA do not claim the Valley.
They don't. Well, they get upset with you doing that, but still a part of Los
I'm
Angeles.
proud.
If you put on your address Los Angeles, California, instead of
Okay, here, Greg. Do you
can't.
have more in common with the kids from West Beverly High or the kids from Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai.
100%.
Yeah,
We are Valley
100%, yeah.
Valley kids.
Yeah.
Oh, there
By the
is-
way, Cobra Kai's back. I watched the first episode last night. Great.
There is a
I
definitive.
can't wait. I can't wait. I'm too busy watching Younger while my husband is sick.
There's a definitive culture on what side
Yeah.
of the hill with like the valley,
Yeah.
and then even within the valley itself.
Oh, yeah.
like it's very
Oh.
San Gabriel Valley, San Fernando.
Oh, those are different valleys.
Not the same
very
thing.
different. Very
Oh,
different.
also,
valleys.
East Valley, West Valley.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you are from the heart of Kardashian country, my friend.
Oh, there was no Kardashians when I was there.
But it has
okay?
been renamed.
I was there when it was Woodland Hills. It got renamed to Calabasas while I was still living
And
there.
West Hills. Yeah.
Well, yeah, West Hills. Is
I
a
grew
little
up in
further out.
Canoga Park, which got renamed to West Hills. Yeah.
Yep, West Hills. Yeah.
So real
I wasn't
ones
part of
call
that
it Woodland
gentrification.
Hills.
Yeah, I say I'm from Woodland Hills just so I don't get it mixed up with the Kardashians.
Really?
Very much
you
so.
disavow Kardashians.
I very much do.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I grew up in Canoga Park. I was not part of the West Hills delegation. I was very young when they decided to do that. But we did benefit from the increase in property values.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure.
Now you'll claim those, Greg.
No, yeah,
like if it eventually
absolutely.
comes around, you will take that piece of the
Calabasas
Kardashians.
property values are much higher than Woodland Hills.
much higher.
Yeah.
Ask
Woodland Hills
Keyshawn.
real estate's making a comeback.
I was going to say, Keyshawn, I think, helped raise the property
He did.
values there
Little bit.
himself.
He did.
Yeah.
He
Like, it's
very
not
much did.
just the Kardashians.
No.
Keyshawn,
Hey, guess what? The Rams are coming out to Woodland Hills.
They are going to be in Woodland Hills. Yep.
Yeah,
they're
that's
building
gonna
a
raise
brand
the-
new facility
Yeah.
right where that
I drive
that
by it
AMC,
every day.
where the AMC used to be. Yeah.
I drive by it every day, and all the players are going to live there now. It's going to be great.
They've just been shuttling back and forth around like
I
the
know.
facilities. It started out there, then they're
Thousand
moving,
Oaks, and
then they're going back to Woodland Hills. Like
It's a lot.
It's a lot to keep up with.
I mean, these are high class problems.
They are high class. Speaking of high class problems,
Yeah.
LeBron and Luka Doncic. That is a high class problem, one would say. We'll get into that.
Endless
coming up.
content.
Get into that coming up next, 710 ESPN.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Weekdays after Mason in Ireland.
You know, down in Miami where I lived, we would start our nights at a Wet Willie's or Fat Tuesdays or whatever, and have one of those.
Willie's.
Yeah, have one of those terrible.
I left it alone on purpose.
I mean, that was the name of the place. I mean, Ludacris had it in one of his songs, Wet Willie's on Miami Beach.
Sedano and Cap is next at 3 p.m.
On 710 ESPN.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/LA to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
Hey, it's Mace talking about the amazing, spectacular Cosm. Best place to watch sports. Cosm is the ultimate sports experience. NBA, NHL, college basketball, Premier League, WWE, more. On massive, high-resolution displays, you got to experience the Dome at Cosm. Immersive shared reality that wraps around you. It's like being on the field or on the court. Inside the hall at Cosm, wall-to-wall live multi-view sports. Go to Cosm.com to get your tickets today. That's COSM.com.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe 4th row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Mason in Ireland on 710.
I've got to be honest. I have no idea how you do it.
I'm not sure how I do it.
I would not. Would not be my scene.
More of Mason in Ireland right now.
This is it.
Again, shout out to Chris Morales, speedy recovery, yacht rock in your honor.
Yeah.
On what is normally a live imaging Tuesday, Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona Shelburne in for the guys. And LeBron, I thought, said something really interesting over, I think it was All-Star Weekend, when he was asked about Luka Doncic now being with the Lakers, if that's something that could extend his career. 40, season 22, yada, yada, yada. The end is closer than the beginning. Could this lead to a longer time in the NBA? And LeBron said he didn't think it would necessarily extend it, or he hadn't thought about it along those terms. but Luka does energize him.
Yeah.
Like Luka's presence is an energizing presence. And that's something I've actually been thinking about a lot with LeBron. Just when you're 22 seasons in, age 40, the day-to-day grind of an 82-game season is hard through human nature to get up for. Like it is harder for LeBron to play. There can at times, I'm sure, feel like, why am I doing this? Like I've accomplished everything I can do. What am I getting out of this? Like what's driving it? Luka is a brand new element introduced to LeBron right now, like something that is totally different. I would think that once he gets used to all this and wraps his head around the newness, this could be something that he could draw energy from just because it's not the same thing he's done before.
You know who also did that this year? Bronny. I thought that when one of the most delightful things that we experienced was seeing LeBron with his son on the team. And I know there was a lot of haters and people who thought it was, he's taking up a roster spot. That's fine. I've always been in the camp. If it makes LeBron 15% happier and he's still your best player, worth it. Fine. No problem. Now, should he have been out there against the Sixers as much as he was and in a critical spot? Maybe not. But I would say, this is going to Bronny was something that he wanted to happen. Bronny is something that he helped engineer. He spoke that into existence. Luka, he got blindsided by. And so I think there is going to be a reset here. Like, LeBron came to Los Angeles, the Lakers, treated him very well, did a lot of things because he wanted them to, gave him everything he needed to feel comfortable. Maybe he would have liked them to make a few more trades here along the way, but for the most part, it's been a pretty beneficial relationship.
Sure.
It's only been a few subtweets, only a few. There's 5 or 10.
There have been subtweets in the best of times with LeBron.
Correct, but that's fine.
Sure.
Cost of doing business, right, with a superstar of his caliber. And I think compare that to other places.
Kobe. Oh, yeah. The organization, the good with Kobe clearly outweighed the bad by a long shot. There's a lot of eggshell walking during Kobe's
and
time
social
with the
media
Lakers,
was
too.
not a thing until the end of his career. Okay? So I will say this. I think it's going to take some getting used to. In terms of where he stands with the organization now, in terms of his power, the way that he learned about the trade, also losing Anthony Davis, who he was genuinely friends with. They were genuinely close and enjoyed playing together. I think that's going to take some, but I do think playing with another player of exceptional basketball IQ, of exceptional talent, who wants to win, who is now very motivated by the fact that the Mavericks just shunned him, right? They cast him out.
Well, they didn't just cast him out.
Ooh.
They threw so much dirty laundry out there,
yeah.
so much negative messaging. You want to talk about guys who also have stuff to wrap their heads around.
Yeah.
This is a lot for Luka. When he said after the Utah loss last Wednesday that he needed a mental break, I think that's what he's referring to. Just the idea of what just happened.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Look, the word, it's a big Stanfordy word, but it's repudiated. They repudiated him, right? That is completely rejected him. And that hurts. I don't care whether you ended up in a better place or not. That hurts. And he just got done building a house there. He's got a wife and a family. There's a lot of change there. Plus, nobody wants to hear the kind of things that were said about him on his way out. So it's gonna take a while for both of their egos to get past all this, and they have to find a way to come together. Let's see if they. I don't think they have all that much in common. I just know the two guys.
As people, you mean?
As people,
right.
They're as basketball players, they do. They're like the same player. Except Luka shoots better and LeBron's more athletic. And stronger. But as people, LeBron, as we all have seen and read about for years, is famously disciplined and loves structure and is unbelievable in how he treats his body and works out. Clearly, Luka has some growth to do there, right? He's the guy who shows up in the game. His first game on last Monday, he checks into the game and he's tucking his shirt in and the back part's still untucked. That would never happen with LeBron. LeBron is a creature of habit. I actually went to his office in Akron once, and you've never seen a more immaculate office, a cultivated, immaculately clean office. That's how LeBron rolls. Luka I have a little more in common with Luka. I feel like I just roll up.
Right.
Like, oh, my shirt's a little, you know, I'm like they're very different kind of people and people off the court. But doesn't mean they're not going to gel on the court.
Well, I think there's a lot that both of them can benefit from the presence of each other.
Yeah.
And Luka can make life easier for LeBron on the court in ways that Anthony Davis specifically can.
Yeah.
Because as much as AD made LeBron's life easier as a backline defensively, as somebody taking on more of an offensive load, it still required LeBron, at least offensively, to put AD in that position. Luka can literally do the things that LeBron was doing. And LeBron can honestly teach Luka, I think, a lot about professionalism, a lot about, okay, you're obviously a great player. You led a team to the finals, but here's the extra 3% that is the difference between Hall of Fame caliber player and one of the true all-time greats. I can teach you that. As far as like the ego piece of this with LeBron and not having been given a heads up, Rich Paul wasn't given a heads up, like, I would like to think that those guys can understand the context of why it had to happen that way. And those guys have done a lot of business before. Like, they understand how things can unravel. It had to be done this way, even though it is signaling at the end of the day, we were more concerned about getting Luka than not ruffling LeBron's feelings. And honestly, that's the way it not only makes sense, LeBron and Rich Paul have been saying, don't plan everything around LeBron. At the time, plan it around Anthony Davis. Like, it makes no sense to plan around LeBron at this stage of his career. If that logic held for Anthony Davis, same logic holds for Luka. And bringing in Luka Doncic, like, it is, I think, something that LeBron can benefit. But at the end of the day, this is the Lakers planning for the Lakers, which is exactly what those guys were telling them to do.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. You may try, but you can't.
Except that he has for his entire career.
Sure.
And he's gone to a bazillion finals and won 4 titles and been wildly successful doing it his way.
But here's the thing. Okay, here's where I would feel truly insulted if I were LeBron. If AD got moved, you know, it was like a sucker punch move, but it was a salary dump.
Yeah, I'd be mad.
That would be something where if I'm LeBron, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, remember when Kobe, after they traded Lamar Odom, Kobe was openly mad. Like, after the Chris Paul
trade fell apart.
Fell apart. Like, Lamar wanted to be moved. They moved him to Dallas for nothing. Like, nothing.
Pau Gasol was never the same.
Right. And Kobe was mad that they moved Lamar Odom for nothing when they were trying to go for
another ring.
Three-peat. Or another ring at the very least. They didn't move Anthony Davis for nobody. They brought in a player that at worst is at AD's level. The general's consensus is better than AD. Like, there's only so mad you can be about that if he's actually mad at all, which I'd like to think he's not.
Yeah, look, we all at some point get to a stage in our careers or our lives where you're not the main thing anymore. And that's most of the time you don't get to choose when that day comes. Like, every once in a while, like I was talking to Woj the other day because he went into the Hall of Fame. Every once in a while, somebody gets to choose when that day comes. He chose his exit date. And he did it a year probably too early, right? A year or two before anybody came calling for him. And that's so rare. Like, when people really get to go out on top.
John Elway.
Yeah, John Elway. Like, Woj did it. Jackie McMullen did it. She went out a little early. People were, like, missing her on the way out. Everybody was trying to get her to stay. Will you stay just a little bit, right? Like, that's the way you go out. You go out on top when no one's pushing you out the door. When you stay a little longer, especially for a franchise like the Lakers that has to plan for the future. They just do. They don't want to have 6 years in the lottery again like they did after Kobe retired.
Well, this is also, too, like, part of what made it complicated with LeBron and AD is Anthony Davis is also, like, he's not at LeBron's age, but he's on the back end of his prime. So it's like you have such a short window to make this thing work if you're just trying to realistically compete for championships. And this team pre-AD trade, they were good. They weren't a bad team, but it looked like they had a pretty pronounced ceiling. And the cap math and I think some redundancy between LeBron and AD as players as they age, like, it just made it hard to plan around. And then that extra piece of AD constantly demanding a center to move him to power forward in ways that, to be honest, I don't think actually make. We'll see how it works in Dallas when he's eventually healthy again, but I don't actually think it's the best thing for AD. Maybe what he wants, but I don't think it's the best thing for him or a team. Well,
it depends on how he and Kyrie age and whether they age together. I mean, Kyrie could leave. He's got a player option on next year. Their window to win is now. It's like for the next 2 to 3 years with Kyrie and AD. I think that's a good team. If they're healthy, I think they're a very good team. It's just how long is that, and can those two guys stay healthy at the right time?
Right, and the Lakers gave themselves a longer runway. Yeah. And they gave themselves a longer runway, hopefully, with Luka extended for the max amount of years. You get his entire prime, and that gives you the type of runway that no matter how much you believe in LeBron and AD together, they can't provide because of their respective ages. This is something the Lakers had to do, and it's not like they screwed over LeBron in the process.
They got him a good player.
Right. They may have not announced, but announced without saying it, you are no longer the number one priority at this organization, but they didn't screw him over. There's a difference.
Right.
And hopefully, I sense that LeBron can come around to that, but
I think he can. And I think it's one thing I've always thought about LeBron is, yes, he is the NBA's all-time leading scorer, but the reason he became LeBron is because he makes people around him better.
Yeah.
That's his essential nature. Kobe's essential nature is a killer. He is trying to score. He's trying, he's the Black Mamba, right? That's Kobe. LeBron gets everybody else paid.
Yeah.
Everybody who plays with LeBron elevates. Yes, they have to adapt their game, and there's only certain people who fit alongside of him. But he looks to pass before he looks to score.
All right, coming up next, could a LeBron, Luka, Ja Morant big three be possible? And also, would you choose if you were, or force your way through the draft to the team of your choosing based on the Madden style in a video game? Talk about all that.
That's an idea.
Coming up next, 710 ESPN.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Back tomorrow at 9 a.m. after Clinton and Friends.
I don't think I ever heard my mom or dad use a profanity until I was maybe in high school.
Yeah.
And you rarely heard adults use profanities in mixed company. Almost never. Walk through the grocery store.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you're going to hear it in the grocery store.
Really?
If you really listen, it's crazy. It's ubiquitous.
Okay.
It's not even. It almost has lost all of its juice.
It lost a lot of meaning. It's just an extra word.
It's an
to say.
adjective a lot of times.
I try not
an
to,
adverb.
but every
it can be
now
used
and
in a
then,
lot of different ways too. Like the F word is used in every single way you can.
But I mean, it's still the F word.
I agree.
Yeah. You can't use it in school or church, right?
We don't say it on the air.
I mean, maybe,
school and church
you can't say it on the air.
School and church might be the last two places you might not hear it. And by the way, if they use it in church, I might go.
That would be so much more fun, right?
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Located in the heart of downtown Los Angeles, Crypto.com Arena is pulling back the curtain and unveiling new behind-the-scenes VIP tours, which offer an exclusive look inside one of the world's most iconic sports and entertainment venues. Expert guides will lead small groups through spaces that have hosted legendary sports championships, world-renowned concerts, and epic award shows. Guests will also explore the venue's VIP areas and experience the arena's latest renovations. For more info, visit cryptoarena.com/tours.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone. Up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Empower.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
And it is Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Like, that's the problem in the world, is there aren't enough happy shows, fun shows.
Mason and Ireland.
710 ESPN.
Mason and Ireland, Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona Shelburne in for the guys. And Luka Doncic getting moved shocked the entire NBA world. Among many reasons, it created the idea that if Luka can get moved without even asking to be moved, hell, while seemingly wanting to stay in Dallas. Basically, if your name is not Wemby or Nikola or Shea, you could get moved. Like, you may not be safe. And that has led to recently some chatter that maybe this offseason, the Memphis Grizzlies could at least entertain the idea of Ja Morant possibly either taking calls on Ja or maybe putting out some calls on Ja.
Read me the exact place where this came from. It was Howard Beck, right?
It was Howard Beck.
From
quote,
The Ringer.
I am constantly checking in with executives around the trade deadline about this. Okay, what we saw, what we didn't see, the rest of the league. Pulling up the rest of this quote real quick. The rest of the league, you're always on the lookout for who's the next wave of stars and who's going to be dealt, right? Somebody out of the blue said, keep an eye on Ja this summer. I'm just saying it's one of those things I'm keeping an early eye on if they flame out early, if they were to flame out early. This is interesting, too, also because I was speaking with somebody who covers the Grizzlies, and they brought up this idea as well, too. Just like if the Grizzlies flamed out this offseason, like first-round exit.
Well, they start to get expensive, right? They're already paying Desmond Bane, max contract. I think his was like $205 or whatever. That feels small now, right? Because they're going to have to pay Jaren Jackson Jr. this year. He may get that super max because he's having such a good year. He could be all NBA. So they'll pay him. Ja had already done a max, but he's not like the super duper max.
No,
yet.
Actually, by future max standards, Ja's contract is really reasonable.
Yeah, it's fairly good. And I think, it's hard to have three players on the max. It's just hard to build a roster that way. Plus, they've actually been fairly good without when he doesn't play. Now, I still think Ja's an amazing player. He's just been in and out of the lineup this year, and they're second in the West, even despite him missing a lot of time. So I think this is more of a financial situation. I'm sure you could read into the off the court stuff that he's gotten into, or the issues they've had with him and the league's had with him there. But this is the new reality in the NBA where it's just from a team building perspective, like every young team is going to have to go through it. Oklahoma City's going to go through this. They're, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's probably going to be the MVP this year. Jalen Williams is their number 2 guy. Chet Holmgren's going to be, eventually they'll have to pay all of them. And you just can't. If you do that, then you have the rest of the team. You can't have depth. That's why you kind of have to win early when these guys are on their younger. It's not even the rookie contract or the second contract. It's the third contract. And so for Ja, that would be a third contract that is somewhat coming up. It may not be quite the same thing as Dallas not believing in Luka really deep down, but there's some element of that, and also just financial reality.
See, now, the financial reality piece of this, I mean, like, whatever concerns they have about Ja off the court or whatever, I mean, he's had none, to the best of my knowledge, of late or anything this season, but it's not that far removed, and they know him better than anybody. But the financial piece of this speaks to something needs to be changed with the CBA, because if a team like the Memphis Grizzlies, they're home-growing that group.
Yeah.
Ja, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, their ostensible big 3.
Yeah.
Those are all guys they drafted.
Agree.
And this CBA that, is
They've
supposed
done
to
a great job surrounding them with talent and finding guys.
And also, too, like, it's always ostensibly about trying to protect these smaller market teams who theoretically don't have the advantages of the Lakers or Celtics, Knicks, Warriors, teams like that. If finances all of a sudden make it so a team like the Grizzlies can't even home grow their stars, what are they supposed to do?
That was one of the things that I know the Warriors were part of this, which is you should be able to pay your own guys without incurring all of the second apron penalties, et cetera.
1,000%.
Like if you draft and develop, those should be sort of exempt from the real punitive stuff.
Or guys who've been with your organization for 6 years, 7 years, like they've put in a certain amount of service time. Like a team like, say, the Lakers, which I don't say this as a pejorative, but they've been very mercenary in the way they've been built over the last several years. They brought in LeBron as a free agent, traded for Anthony Davis, now traded for Luka. Like, it's been a very mercenary feel. That's fine. But I think if the CBA wants to prevent something like that, I don't necessarily have a problem with teams being built like that. But okay, I can at least understand the logic, particularly when you're talking about a big market team like the Lakers.
Well, look, it's going to happen with the Boston Celtics at some point.
Sure.
First of all, that team's being sold, which is
Right.
it's a big, long process. But both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum make over $300 million.
But those
just
are
signed extensions.
But those are also homegrown guys that if the CBA made certain allowances for guys like Tatum and Brown who
to get supermaxes.
Right, but frankly, the Celtics or any other team, they should be rewarded for doing well on drafts like that. Like the Grizzlies, if they have to break this up over financial reasons, they are essentially being penalized for drafting well at the top of the first round, middle of the first round, and bottom of the first round.
I will point out, though, I don't think that they're going to trade Ja Morant. I think people, the way, that's why I said read to me exactly what he wrote. I don't think they want to. I don't think they will. I just think that people in the league are looking at situations like Memphis or like Boston or whatever and saying, can the financial realities of the new CBA, can they actually keep that together?
Yeah,
I think that's more the speculation, where that's because I've heard that speculation too, but I've never gotten that vibe from Memphis.
Okay, switching gears. There's a piece up on SI that has a clip of Shadour Sanders playing Madden, and apparently the only team that he plays for or plays Madden, uses Madden, is the Cleveland Browns. And in talking about them, he said, I like the way they move around on there. I like the setup. And this is interesting because Cleveland Brown, among the many, many things they
Where's
could
Lindsay?
use.
Lindsay, do you hear this?
They could use a quarterback. And could this be interpreted as Shadour Sanders trying to maneuver his way to Cleveland in the upcoming draft? Is that nutty criteria for Sanders to even be thinking about when he envisions where he goes?
Not at all. It's like NBA players play 2K and they have their favorites, right? I mean, that's a whole thing.
Would you pick if you're coming out of NCAA basketball and you're going to be drafted, would you start playing along with, I don't know, Charlotte to say like, ooh, I like the way that Charlotte moves on this game?
So random, right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't work that
so
way.
Random.
The way people move on a football field is not the exact same way it is on Madden.
Also, I know this sounds...
It helps, but...
it's the inverse. What story was it recently?
Does he just like their uniforms or... Like, what is it?
Which
Does he like
team-
the field?
which team was
I don't
it?
play Madden.
He's basically
I don't know
saying, I'm okay with going to Cleveland.
Which team was it, though, that we recently heard about? There was that report that the owner's sons were saying you should draft this player.
Oh,
the
Jets.
Draft. Right. It's the inverse of the Jets, where the Jets, I guess his ne'er-do-well sons were saying, Woody Johnson's ne'er-do-well sons were saying, draft this guy based on Madden. This is the inverse of it. This is Sanders theoretically choosing his team based on Madden.
I'm going to Cleveland for Madden.
Yes.
I mean, I care more about who Dion likes to play on Madden, right?
Yeah, well, they can call it.
If anyone's going to angle to go someplace, it's going to be Dion trying to get his son to where he thinks he should play.
Where do you think he should play?
Raider!
That's what
Sorry,
there
it's the right
are
answer.
people putting the Raiders out there at 6.
I don't know
for
how they would
Shadour.
get him.
I don't see how he drops that far.
Well, wouldn't they have to find a way to trade up?
Maybe. It depends. There's some teams ahead of them that may not go quarterback.
Right.
I mean, there's that lineman from Penn State people like.
It's not hard to picture
Travis
Pete
Hunter.
Carroll working with Shadour Sanders, perhaps a Russell Wilson-ish type player.
I don't know. Pete's going defense. Come on. Pete's going to draft.
But he still. I mean, I think if he has the opportunity at a quarterback like Russell Wilson, as great as that defense was,
where was Russell Wilson drafted?
Third round.
Third round, yeah.
That's about where Pete's going to find his quarterback.
He'll find like a Jackson Dart in the third round, and that's where they'll end up with.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just too many. Like Tennessee is going to take a quarterback, probably Cam Ward. Cleveland just makes sense to go for the quarterback when you don't actually have a quarterback.
Giants need a quarterback.
Giants need a quarterback.
That's what it seems like Deion
The
wants.
Patriots do not.
Right.
The Jags technically do not, but it could be debatable. And then the Raiders.
If the Browns somehow get an opportunity, like if they end up selecting Shadour Sanders and it doesn't work, then it's truly them. Like the list of quarterbacks.
No,
the Browns,
then it's the Madden curse.
No, different type of curse.
Yeah, but that's a real thing.
Yeah, but that's a
very different version of Madden curse.
It's expanding.
Just everything.
You're building it out for
everything involved with Madden. Just everything Madden touches becomes cursed.
Yeah. And by the way, this on Tankathon, this mock draft has the Raiders taking Will Johnson. He's a cornerback from Michigan.
That's perfect Pete Carroll pick.
Yeah, it goes Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, the edge from Penn State for the Browns. Shadour to the Giants, and then Travis Hunter, Mason Graham, and then Will Johnson.
That sounds right.
Yep.
So Shadour in New York, not Matthew Stafford. That's what we're predicting right now.
The smoke around Matthew Stafford going to New York or the Raiders, I think it's real.
Dude,
one or the other.
Nobody has benefited from this more than Matthew Stafford's brother-in-law.
Oh,
this has been great for him.
He's getting talked about so much.
Oh, he wants Matthew Stafford. He's like, dude, can you just sign wherever you go? Sign a 1-year deal.
Is this
this is great for me?
Is this like a college coach when he goes and gets the best players in high school's
Lincoln Riley
father
used to
be a head coach, to be an assistant coach?
Yeah, it's so. He's been the biggest beneficiary of all of this, but. It is crazy. I mean, Shadour Sanders is part of a generation that has been truly raised by Madden. Like, Madden means as much to him in football culture as anything else. Coming up, I'm always excited for this.
Okay.
A Ramona Shelburne game of games.
Oh, I was inspired by the game yesterday. I did a version of that.
Always exciting to have a Ramona game of games. And is Jacob joining us?
Not today.
Not today.
So I'm going to go try and get Cappy, who's running around here somewhere.
Okay, good.
Ooh. Cappy in a Momo game of games, which is guaranteed to be weird anyway.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Love this.
Perfect.
710 ESPN.
The Luka era is on for the purple and gold.
And the NBA has never seen anything like this.
Rebound, Luka. Length of the court pass, LeBron. Lay it up and in.
Luka and LeBron, two of the greatest, are now together, and it's looking unstoppable.
I can't believe that we just had an assist, LeBron James to Luka Doncic, and it wasn't in the All-Star game.
Yeah. Catch the dynamic duo as they dominate and make history in real time, right here on the home of Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers.
710 ESPN.
Bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, crowd rocking for Rotolo Chevrolet's top hitter, Mike Capozio. He's facing off with the Bulldog, and these two have quite the history. Here's the pitch. Oh, he got all of it. That ball is out of here like a red Corvette, and it's going and going and going. Yes!
Dad, are you having that dream again?
Come see what the fun is all about at Rotolo Chevrolet.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256 or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. AvnerGat.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text EQUAL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text EQUAL to 321-321. That's EQUAL to 321-321.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, it is Momo's game, and Scott Kaplan is going to be sitting with us. Happy belated birthday, Cappy.
Hey, let me just say this. Thank you very much. Andy Kamenetzy, Ramona, is a wordsmith. Do you know this?
Okay.
No, you're not buying that, huh?
Okay, I'll go with you on that, sure.
It's hard to impress Ramona with
I know.
wordsmithing.
I mean, I was just going to,
He always hears things differently. So, like yesterday, he sent me a note that said, "Happy birthday." You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's good.
He was the only person that came up with that.
That's
right?
good. Yeah, that's a good wordsmithing
I like that.
exercise.
Thank you. Nice job by you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I like it. All right, listen, I was inspired yesterday because I was driving around listening to Steve Mason's game.
Come on, Andy.
And Steve Mason's game was pitcher, podcaster, or playwright, right? So he found names, and you had to guess who that was. So I decided to do a variation of that, which I came up with, see if it's good or not.
Sure, I'll keep track. I got you.
Okay, I wrote like a lot of them, so we'll just keep going until you guys feel like stopping, okay?
How many did you write?
18.
Oh, wow.
Okay, we're not going to do 18.
Okay.
Here,
But
I'll
they're easy.
run this for you.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
this is either a baseball player, a boy band member, or a banker.
A banker?
Okay. Banker.
Everything starts with B.
Okay.
Like, are there famous
Yeah,
bankers?
there's famous bankers.
Yeah, there are famous bankers out
Of course,
there.
you should know the famous
Sure.
bankers.
I know who they are.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
They're all going to have names that sound like that, okay?
All right.
So I'm just going to say a name, and you can say, is it a baseball player, a boy band member, or a banker?
Okay.
Got it?
You guys got this?
Got it.
Yeah.
I figured it out. Go.
I got an inspiration. It's not that hard. Okay. Okay, we'll start with Anthony Armstrong. Is that a baseball player, boy band member, or banker?
Andy.
I'm going to go boy band member?
Okay.
Cappy.
I also like boy band.
All right.
I'm going to go banker. Brian.
I like boy band as well.
He is a banker.
Yeah,
He's a big muckety
banker.
muck at Morgan Stanley.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
What's his name?
Okay.
How do you
Louis
not know the
Armstrong?
banker?
Yeah, Anthony Armstrong.
Anthony Armstrong.
Googling Anthony Armstrong.
He's a big guy. Big guy.
Big guy, huh?
Yeah, okay. All right, let's go with...
Did you do all this research on LinkedIn?
I did a lot. No, I did a lot, yeah. I did a lot last night. That's what I was doing last night.
Not on LinkedIn, though.
10:30 at night.
Okay.
He
Mike
is not
Hartley.
the first Anthony Armstrong that
Mike
comes up,
Hartley.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Is Mike Hartley a baseball player, boy band member, or banker?
Cappy.
You said Mike Hartley?
Mike Hartley. See, these are good names, right?
Boy band.
Okay.
I'll say baseball player.
'Kay.
Brian.
Boy band.
Andy.
Baseball player.
Baseball player. He was a pitcher for the Dodgers in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Oh, in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know that.
Well, that's why I
man.
had to go back in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, you notice how, like, if we don't recognize the ball player's name right away, we immediately go banker or boy band. You know?
It's a good game, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's a good game.
All right, Jordan Knight. Is that a baseball player, boy band member, or banker?
It's me. I'm going to say boy band. Brian.
Boy band, yes.
All right.
Andy.
Boy band.
No,
And
you
Cappy.
guys are all wrong. Yeah, but you know what? Screw it. I'll go boy band.
It's 100%. It's 100% a boy
New
band.
Kids on the Block.
Hey. And KOTB.
You had
That-
the right
that was
stuff
an
there,
easy
Cappy.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
there you
Hey,
go.
see? Wordsmith.
Okay. Joe Ferguson. Joe Ferguson. Is that a banker, baseball player, or a boy band member?
Brian.
Ball player.
Okay.
Andy.
Banker.
Cappy.
Ball player.
Ball player.
And Greg, you were right. That's a Dodgers catcher in the 1980s.
Yeah, so Brian got that.
Ball player.
Yeah,
Only
ball
Andy got
player.
that one wrong, right?
Did you know that?
Yeah, it sounded.
It
Ferguson
sounded-
Ferguson,
like
yeah.
very
Yeah,
ball
but
player.
Joe Ferguson, though, can handle your finances.
I agree. That's why I picked
Not
the
as
name.
well as
Executive Vice
Anthony
President
Anderson
Chase,
or whatever his name was.
Anthony Armstrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with James Diamond. Is that a baseball player, a boy band member, or a banker?
Andy.
Well, that's a banker.
Okay.
Cappy.
I'm going to agree with Andy. I'm going to go banker.
Yeah, I like banker here. Brian.
Team ride, banker.
It is a banker.
Yeah.
He's really famous. Jamie Diamond.
Yeah, Jamie Diamond.
Yeah. That's why I said James.
Yes, I knew.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got it? He's really famous.
He's the CEO of Chase.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamie Diamond. I thought you
Yeah.
said James Diamond.
James Diamond.
Diamond.
I thought you said diamond.
Well,
like
you just misheard.
Well,
Wow.
You added a D.
But I still managed to pull it out.
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
you
All right, so the score right now,
Yeah.
Greg 5, everybody else 3.
Okay.
Cappy,
Robbie
you start.
Williams. Robbie Williams. Is that a banker, ball player, or boy band member?
Cappy.
I'm going to go with boy band.
Okay.
I'm going to go boy band. Brian.
Ball player.
Andy.
Boy band.
Boy band. He's from
Boy
Take
band.
That.
Take that.
Take That. It's an
That's a
English
band?
boy band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He had a
I know
solo
it was a
career
solo
as well,
act.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Really?
was a solo act, but that's it.
He had a
Yeah.
movie that just came out.
Okay.
His biography, but they used an ape instead of him.
An ape?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a primate?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Okay.
What else would it be?
It's a good game. It's engendering very good
I like
things.
the way that you clarify.
It's the
oh,
really.
primate. Totally understand now.
Interesting.
I didn't
Really?
get 8 before.
Didn't know that.
I don't know what to do with that.
Okay.
Hey, Cam.
Brian Luttrell. Is that a banker, boy band member, or baseball player?
Brian Luttrell, it's me. I'll say a ball player. Brian.
Okay.
Ball player.
Andy.
Boy band.
Cappy.
Yeah, I kind of think boy band also.
You are my fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
My what? Come on.
Yeah.
He is a member of the Backstreet Boys.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Now
So
you know.
now we caught up to
No, you're one back still. So
Okay.
Greg 6, Cappy 5, Andy 5, Brian 3.
How many do you guys want to do? I have a lot.
18. 18 I want
You
to
wanna do
do.
18?
All right,
Pretty
we'll-
good
we'll
game,
keep
though.
going.
Pretty good, right?
Let's do
Damn
5
good
more.
game.
Let's
Okay,
do 5 more.
Five
game.
more. Okay.
It's an
Sounds
outstanding
good.
game.
Okay. Let's go with Darren Holmes. Is that a baseball player, a boy band member, or a banker?
Brian.
Ball player.
Okay.
Andy.
Baseball player.
Cappy.
Darren Holmes. I'm also going to say ball player.
Yeah, sounds ball playery.
Dodgers pitcher.
Yeah.
There you go,
Dodgers
everybody.
pitcher from the 90s.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
I'll
So
give you
4
some that you
left.
can get. Let's get some you can
Brian, you are
get. Should I
3
make them
back.
hard or easy?
Make them hard.
Okay, make them hard. Okay. Let's see. What are the hard ones? Okay.
Make it hard.
Neil Horan. Is that a boy band member, a baseball player, or a banker?
Neil Horan.
Now we start here with Andy.
Banker?
Cappy.
I also want to say banker.
You
All
can.
right, screw it. I'm going to say banker.
Yeah, I don't know what else he could be. I'm going to say banker. Brian.
Boy band.
Brian is correct. He is on One
okay,
Direction.
you're staying alive.
He's
You're
like a
2
big
back. Now
guy
with
on
3
One
left.
Direction.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but
You spelled
It's
Neil.
Niall
Sure you didn't know
Horan.
it, Brian.
right.
Parker, a big
think
One
it's Neil.
Direction fan, says it's Niall
Niall?
Horan.
Niall Horan.
Whatever.
See, see, Neil Horan is a banker.
Exactly.
It is spelled
I feel like
Niall.
we should get half a point.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right, 3 left.
Tyler Dixon. Tyler Dixon.
All right, I gotta
Is
go
that
first.
Is that a baseball player, boy band member, or banker?
I'm going to say ball player.
Okay.
Let's go to Andy
That's such a ball player name, ball player.
and Cappy.
I also feel like it's a ball player, but I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to go banker for the hell of it.
Okay, Brian.
Boy band.
It's good you did, Cappy.
Yeah.
Oh.
He is a big mucky city group.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Now it's in 2 left. Brian, you have to go opposite completely now.
Okay.
I have 7. Cappy has 7. Andy has 6. And Brian has 5.
Okay. Gary Carter, baseball player, ball band member, boy band member, or banker?
Cappy, you start this one.
Gary Carter?
Yeah.
It sounds like a banker to me. Could also be in the boy. Well, you know what? Screw it. I'll go ball player.
Yeah, I'm going to say ball player 2. Let's go Andy
Ball player.
and Brian.
Boy band.
Good job.
Gary Carter? You guys don't know who Gary Carter is?
No, we all
the
know.
catcher for the Mets?
We know exactly who it was.
Okay, good.
That's
why we all said ball player.
Right, we were trying to get other guys.
And now Brian is out.
And Brian bought it.
I had to go different.
That all kind of we knew what we were doing. All right, so Andy, you have to go opposite.
Okay. Ellis Burks. Ellis Burks. Is that a baseball player, boy band member, or banker?
So I got to go here first.
Come on, Bergie. That's definitely a banker.
That is definitely a banker, but I'm going to go ball player. Cappy?
Ball player.
And Andy?
Unfortunately, I know the answer, but I have to go opposite, so banker.
It's a ball player.
I know.
Most definitely a ball player. He also played for the Rockies.
Okay. Well, it looks
I
like
know
we have
him
a tie
mostly.
ball game.
Okay.
Tie game? Cappy and me. That's it. You have a
I
tiebreaker?
do have a tiebreaker.
Okay, let's go.
The
Wait,
tiebreaker.
She just switched phones.
I know.
That's
I wrote it on a
amazing.
different. I know.
The tiebreaker goes on the other phone.
The tiebreaker's on her burner
18
phone.
went on a different phone.
It did. Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
really surprised, by the way, that you have two phones, that they're both iPhones. Like, I find that a lot of people who have two phones have
Yeah,
one
I
of
have a
each.
different. Yeah, one of each. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't really like the green.
Got it.
Text messages.
Oh, understood.
Yeah, I want to be part of the crew.
Got
it. Okay. The tiebreaker is how many #1 hits have Brian Littrell and the Backstreet Boys had?
How many #1 hits?
#1 hits.
Hold on, I got to think about that for a second.
Me too. All right, so we got to write something down. But
down.
I'll write something down, and you just say what you
Okay,
said.
#1
Hold on.
hits.
#1 hits.
For
I'm going to
Backstreet
say,
Boys?
yeah, I'm going to say that many. Okay.
How many you got?
No, you go first.
Oh,
because you didn't write it down.
Okay. I'll say 11.
I said 13.
What was that?
11.
11.
And you
Come on,
said 13?
you don't speak Cappy?
Yeah.
It's 11, 13.
Cappy's right because they've had none.
None. Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not one.
Not one #1 hit.
The Backstreet Boys have not had any #1 hits, but their song "I Want It That Way" did reach #1 in many countries. That's the only one in other countries, but not
Wow,
here.
I Want It That Way
I
wasn't
did not know
#1.
Yeah.
Cappy.
I did not know that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey.
Cappy.
Cappy!
Yeah.
You have 3 and are tied for the lead.
With who?
Mason.
No
Whoa.
way.
Mason has 3, Cappy has 3, Bergman has 2, Brian 1, Ireland 1, Andy 1, Marcus 1.
Will this get Mace in tomorrow?
Oh, good
no,
question.
no, that's not happening.
I don't think so.
He's going to concede the month.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
he?
If he's calling out at 2:00 in the morning on a Tuesday, he's not coming in
With
on Wednesday.
vacation coming on Thursday
Thursday.
and Friday.
Yeah,
Whoa,
right.
hold
yeah,
on
no
a second.
chance.
He texted you at 2 in the morning?
Yeah, I got it. I saw it at 6, but yeah, it was
What
too
did it say
clever.
at 2 in the morning?
Okay, well, let me go back to find.
I
his
can't
thing.
believe he didn't wait until the morning. Go, let me see how I feel.
He said, okay, it was Tuesday or this morning. It says today at 2:41 a.m.
241. That's even different.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means it wasn't actually scheduled, so
Oh,
I
okay.
appreciate that.
Well,
I got,
maybe it was. He just make it look good.
Yeah, that's,
Right.
That's how you cover
he
your
is smart.
tracks.
Right.
I got hit by the flu. Can you please cover for me
Oh.
Tuesday? Doesn't say anything about Wednesday, but I'm just assuming
Well,
he's not coming.
I
in
want to
Wednesday.
tell you that the flu, talk to any
It's
doctor.
going around. My son has it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they say, the medical community, says that, that I speak on their behalf,
Yeah.
that this year's influenza virus is more contagious and harder to get rid of. In fact, what you find is a lot of people have the flu, they get rid of the chills, and they get rid of the sweats,
Yeah.
and then they're coughing for the next month, and they can't seem to shake the
Ugh.
cough. Pain
See,
in
I got
ass.
the vaccine. I get the flu shot.
Yeah.
Is that going to help me?
Never had one in my life. Never going to.
Anti-vaxxer, huh?
No, not in the slightest.
You like Aaron Rodgers now?
I had the COVID shot.
You did.
It did.
See, but I got
I'm not going
Bergman's
on
been doing
darkness
his own
retreats.
research.
Your kids are older. My kids are like in preschool,
Doing
and
ayahuasca.
kindergarten. Poor Bergie.
Oh, my God.
All right, we'll come back to a little super crosstalk. We're going to have both George and Cappy for Sedano and Kaplan coming up next, 710 ESPN.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Choose accordingly to what it is you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to hang out and have wine by yourself, don't be opening up anything more than 50. You know what I'm saying?
Sedano and Cap
Weekdays at 3 p.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Plan your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. See for yourself what made readers of Newsweek and USA Today name Pechanga the best casino outside of Las Vegas. Pechanga has world-class resort amenities, exceptional entertainment, dining, spa, and golf, and 24/7 gaming excitement. The immense casino floor and 1,100 rooms and suites makes Pechanga one of the largest in the country. Skip the traffic, head for Pechanga Resort Casino off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations.
Hey, John Ireland here. Downsizing, inheriting a home, want to cash in on your equity? Call Sellers Advantage. They buy homes as is with no costly repairs or commissions. Get a competitive cash offer and closing days or on your timeline. Sellers Advantage has over 20 years of experience and even offers a $10,000 advance for moving expenses. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your no obligation offer.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658. This is the Doctor in the Dugout with Dr. Alan Byer, presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.
I'm often asked about people who suffer their first back injury, think they've pulled a muscle in their back, and they don't stretch enough as far as their back is concerned. So when do you seek care from a doctor when you've sustained a back injury? At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we like to tell people that the most important thing is to watch and see if that back pain is radiating down your leg, causing any numbness, causing any weakness, or any bowel or bladder dysfunction. These are surgical problems usually and require a more urgent visit to the emergency room rather than waiting to see the doctor. If none of these signs are present, it's safe to wait it out, rest for a few days, and seek medical care from your doctor within a week or so. Hope that helps. Keep stretching your back. If that doesn't get better in a week or 10 days, that's when it's time to seek the orthopedic specialist. Hope this keeps you on the field, and keep listening. We'll be back soon.
Keep listening for more on the road to recovery right here on 710 ESPN.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Woo, 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 woo.
We got both Sedano and
Wow.
Cappy
His
here
chair
in,
is broken.
Oh,
in
that sucks.
studio.
I'll give you mine in a little bit.
No, it's okay. Yeah, Cappy's birthday was yesterday.
That's right, it was.
You didn't
Cappy
show up,
birthday.
That's right, happy
He
birthday.
didn't
See?
call. We called him. He didn't pick up his phone.
It was a very weird situation that I didn't know for sure that anybody was calling. Nobody, usually I don't ever have my ringer on.
Yeah.
So usually somebody will text.
And
"Hey,"
you always tell us that you're not out of pocket.
right. I'm always available.
Yes.
Always
not
available.
out of pocket.
Not out of pocket. Always
Yeah.
available. But what happened is nobody texted, "Hey, we're going to call you." And so I was in like a bar restaurant
Yeah, I get
last
it.
night, and then the next thing I know, like this morning, I look at my phone. It's like I missed these calls. I'm like, damn it, how did I miss
You didn't
these
look
calls?
at your phone between
I guess I didn't.
4 p.m.
I'm a
and
little-
Well, you were probably
morning?
drunk.
Well, I'm a little disappointed, George, only because I thought rather than calling, I mean, wouldn't a FaceTime have been better?
Well, you wouldn't have picked up anyway.
I would have tried. I mean, I would have like.
No, you wouldn't have. You didn't see the call. You
Well,
didn't
maybe
pick-
I would have
see
then.
the FaceTime.
Maybe I would have seen the FaceTime.
No, stop.
Maybe I would have.
No, you
Why don't
wouldn't.
you try Rachel's phone?
I don't have Rachel's number.
You don't have Rachel's number?
No.
You're kidding me.
I swear.
You should have it.
Wow.
Why should I
You
have
should.
it?
Just in case of emergency.
Yeah, I
Give me
think you
Kelly's
should.
number.
I know how to get a hold of your kids through Instagram.
Okay, that's true.
So, like, if something happened to you, I
Yeah.
can get a hold of them there.
All right.
That's true.
Well, you should have Rachel's number in case of emergency. Emergency contact.
Yeah.
And give me Kelly's number.
Radio partners should definitely have emergency contact
100%.
contact privileges.
Because, like, here's an example. Like, think about, like, okay,
Yeah.
it's 3 o'clock. It's 3:02.
Yeah.
I'm not around.
Yeah, that
okay?
happens.
They go, hey, where the hell's Cap? I don't know. Call him. Call. Nobody can get a hold of him.
Yeah.
Something's wrong because this isn't like him. Then you call Rachel.
I'm going to propose something.
Okay.
Well, she would know where you are because of the tracking
Mine.
device
Right. Find
that
like
she has
360.
on you.
Right.
This might be a bridge too far. Would you share your location with each other?
I would. I'd be happy to share
Oh,
my
I don't
location with
care.
George.
Really?
With him, I
I'd
don't
be happy.
care.
Be happy to share.
Yeah,
Wow.
he shares it with Rachel, which I think is weird.
Yeah, and all my kids.
I share it with my husband.
I don't either.
I share it with my mom, with my brother. I have nothing to hide.
Nothing to
I
hide.
don't have nothing to hide either. It's just a matter of like.
It'd be good for
what's
them.
the-
I
what's
want
the point
Nevin
of
to
that?
not, because sometimes I don't respond to my husband. Sometimes he's like, "Where
But
are you?"
She's my emergency contact. So if law enforcement found my phone, you could pull up the emergency contact without.
Yeah, but that's an
Oh,
extra
really?
step.
Needing
Don't
to-
you want to know, like, hey, why aren't you home yet? And if sometimes
No,
you
I
call
don't,
or
actually.
text or whatever.
Now this has
Yeah,
come
no.
up. This has come
Yeah.
up because I had a situation. George
That
knows
sounds
this.
like an insecurity to me.
No,
See, to
because
me,
we
it sounds
travel
very
a lot.
secure.
We
Yeah.
travel a lot. You're
Right,
all
but that's
over
what I'm
on
saying.
the move.
If something happens and they find this phone, there you pull it up. There's an emergency contact that anyone can
How
hit
does
even
that
without
happen?
even without the
password.
Without the password.
How's that work? I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you could just pull it. It's like you pull it down and then you hit the emergency.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I had no idea. So one time, Ramona, George and I had finished a broadcast, and I was driving down to South, and I had some stomach issues.
Yeah, that
Can you
happens to
appreciate
you.
that?
Yeah,
Right? It happens. So I had to stop at like the Marriott at the John Wayne Airport, right? And when I pulled in,
I could see where this is going.
When I pulled in, it said first 30 minutes are free of parking, right? So I went in, and about 29:30, I got back in my car.
Took
to
you
pull
that
out.
long?
Well, I was in trouble. I mean,
It was an
Well,
emergency.
usually when there's stomach issues, it's pretty quick.
I know.
a lot of wiping.
Well, yeah, it was like there was the immediacy of the first round, and then there was rounds 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Rachel was texting me going,
Did you have to go to a different stall to get more paper?
No, I was good. I used the handicap stall. So Rachel's like texting me going, why are you at the Marriott in, by the John Wayne Airport? Like thinking that I'm doing something maybe I
untoward.
shouldn't be doing. I'm like, sorry, but...
it's a good word, untoward.
Yeah.
You should use it.
Untoward?
Untoward.
Untoward.
Like and then toward.
Right.
TOWARD.
Never heard that.
If you went to Stanford, you'd know how to use it
Yeah, it's a
properly.
good word.
Hey,
Oh,
Cappy,
my
we have
goodness.
cupcakes.
Cupcakes for the birthday boy.
Nice.
Wow.
Yay, Cappy.
Happy birthday, dear Cappy. Happy birthday to you. Happy Cappy.
Happy
See that, Andy? Happy birthday.
Happy
See?
birthday.
Thank you, guys. That is so lovely.
Cool.
Ooh, the red velvet looks good.
Yeah.
George, the chocolate on chocolate
What
looks
is
good.
that? Velvet? It's beautiful.
What is this one? What is this greenish colored?
It's like a mint, I presume?
A mint cupcake.
Yeah.
All right, who here?
Maybe like a bubble gum or like
Susie
birthday
cakes, that's
cake?
good stuff.
Who
Yeah.
here has
Susie
the
cakes
courage
is
to
good.
jump into one
Oh,
of these
I'll
things?
take one
He
Oh,
don't
yeah,
care.
right
This kid
now I'll do
doesn't
it too.
care. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no
Oh
problem.
really? No problem at all. Even all that hot yoga, and you're still willing to go in for
You
one.
know, I've been eating terribly lately. I'm in a bad eating phase.
Oh no.
So what's
Yeah.
a cupcake at this
Yeah,
point?
what's a cupcake? I mean,
What is
I'm
it?
working out hard.
What does it mean?
It just means I'm not going to go down.
Very good.
You know.
What do you mean?
I won't lose any weight, but I'm, Anyway,
Thank
you
you.
don't want to hear me. Speaking of emergencies,
What can I get for you, Andy Kamenetzy?
George,
take a look.
George was with me yesterday when I was having like an on-air emergency. Okay. Do you ever get one of those dry patches in the back of your throat?
Oh yeah.
Like the postnasal drip, and then all of a sudden you're like,
Well, it's very dry here.
it's
in
very
LA.
dry. And also, it's like I'm getting over stuff that I had like a week ago, but it's not quite resolved, and yada yada. I'll have one of those.
We can have the red velvet. You can
But
have chocolate.
but anyway, I'm on air, and so like this has happened on air before, like
On TV.
On TV, like so
Live.
radio, like if it happens to you, you're like push the cough button, you're like cough, and get it all out or whatever you got to do. But on live TV, like you're sitting there going,
Nowhere
like,
to go.
nowhere to go,
Yeah.
and it's a lot. We were halfway. Fortunately, I had finished my speaking portion of the segment, but I'm on camera and I'm like, go to the single shot. I'm trying not to cough. I'm like.
How do you don't have any
like,
water
trying
with
not-
you under the desk?
It's
or
under the
anything?
desk, but
Okay.
I'm on air.
Right. All right.
Like, and I'm like trying to look on there, like, when are they going to go to the single shot on George? George, cover. George, I'm about to. Could you tell I was dying?
Yeah.
Or did I hide it?
No, you hit it, and I could tell.
You're
well,
like-
obviously, once I started talking, I could kind of see you gesturing.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God.
And
it's
I
happening.
knew something was going on.
Yeah, something's going on.
And then I turned to you after
And I'm like looking at like no.
as I tossed the segment, and you were like coughing and drinking water or whatever.
You know,
Yeah,
what
but
would've
I
been
made
great?
it through.
If-
It was like 45 seconds of like, oh my God, I have to suppress this cough.
What would have been awesome if George would have been like, so Ramona, you seem eager to
Oh my
say
God.
something about this LeBron issue, right?
That would have been hilarious. Actually.
Oh my God.
I would have done it to you for sure.
Have you ever
no
had
doubt.
that happen on air? Like
100%. Oh my God.
Yeah, I
you like,
told you it's happened to me on a radio broadcast.
Oh yeah.
all of a sudden you're talking like,
The TV is different. TV is a
right,
whole other
you got
animal.
no place to hide.
Yeah.
I actually told George today, confirm if this is true or false. I told George today that I actually loved you guys together.
Yeah.
Yesterday on NBA today.
You did.
I said
That's
that.
true.
I really liked it. I thought it was good. I do have one small complaint. It is
Okay.
about George's new haircut.
Yeah. I'm
know-
not sure what to call this.
Well, because he went so short on the sides, he has eliminated my favorite part of his hairdo.
Well, it'll come back.
Oh.
He had this really nice part,
yeah.
and it was
Well, no, he
very
still has a
distinct.
part.
No part.
No, it's like a natural part, but
Yes.
not like a hard part.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's high and tight.
Right. So
You know
we'll
what I'm
go
saying?
back to the hard part later.
Okay. Because, I really like the hard part.
Right, but here's the thing. Like, I don't, because of my travels, I only have certain amount of times to go
Right.
see the barber. So I figured high and tight allows me it to grow in a little bit where it won't look overgrown, and then I can go back to the hard part. So if I go hard part now, by the time I'm back at the barber, the part is gone.
Soft part.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
right.
So this will allow the part to still be natural, but not a hard part.
Turn your head a bit. I want to see this.
Take a look at this situation.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
Now
talking
you
about.
understand, right?
So it'll allow it to grow in to where I can go a month without cutting it, and it'll still look neat.
Andy, do you understand what George is talking about when it comes to his hard part?
I do understand. I just unfortunately can't relate to it.
Yeah, I just wanted
anymore.
to see if you understood.
Yeah,
I do
so that's
understand.
what it is. So I have about a month before I can go out to my boy RC in Paramount.
Okay.
So I got to go short.
Shout out to RC.
Yeah.
I know. It's time for me, too. I need one, too, because what happens to me is my hair gets long, and then everybody starts thinking that I look like Kramer from Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like these
I may
little...
go for a second cupcake. Those
Yeah,
things
you
are
like
really
this?
good.
What can I get for you?
Hey, Gabby, do you feel like blessed to still have all of your hair at this age?
Good question.
Hashtag blessed.
You should.
Yeah. Feeling very blessed in general.
Yeah?
Oh, by the way.
Hashtag blessed
Coming
or
off
real
the whole
blessed?
weekend, you know, like I'm going to tell George, and I'm going to run this by him a little bit later on. I was a monster winner this past weekend with Valentine's Day. I was under tremendous stress when it came to Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I was a huge winner. So I was feeling very good about that. Then my daughters, 2 of my 3 daughters, came home for the weekend to surprise me, which I felt very good about that. And then yesterday was the birthday, double nickels in the house. Even though I know a lot of people are like, what are you, like 30, 35? I'm like, no, believe it or not, 55. And I know people have a hard time believing that, you know, because they look at me and they're like, so youthful.
You color your hair?
Yes, I do.
I mean, I color my hair. It's fine.
I'm sure that's exactly the phrase they use with you.
So youthful.
You're not Gen Z? That's the first thing you hear from them.
You know, usually I walk into a place and like I'm with somebody who's younger than me. Like I'll order something like at Starbucks. Like if George and I walk into a Starbucks, I'll order, he'll order, and I'll go, yeah, whatever my dad wants. You know what I mean? Like I'll point at him and go, whatever my dad wants. You know, and people look at him like, well, you're the... So I try
I think
and...
you sound younger.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you sound younger. I mean, I believe you're 55.
You do?
Because I believe I'm 45 because I know how old I am.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's what we look like.
Yeah, I agree.
But we look good for our age.
I think so.
We're in
You are
shape.
aging beautifully.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Thanks
I
a hell of
definitely
a
know
lot.
55-year-olds, Cappy, that look
Oh,
way
yeah.
worse than you.
Oh, definitely.
My mother and father, who live in Boca del Vista Phase 4 in Delray Beach, Florida.
Is that a real place? That sounds
No, that's
like...
from Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is, but
All right.
they live in the lakes of
That
Delray.
sounds exactly like a Seinfeld.
Right.
Okay.
So my mother calls me the other day and she goes, you know, if you wanted, you could be our neighbors. And I said, what are you talking about,
Well,
Ma?
because you're 55 now.
She goes, yeah. She goes,
Wow.
our community is 55 and over. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think
no.
I'm moving
The
in.
neighbors?
Ma, yeah. I'm like, can you imagine me?
No.
With all these like
Actually, I can.
old yentas? You know what
You,
I mean?
you'd kill
be
with
a-
those.
you'd
Oh,
be
things.
a
I would be a piece
Okay,
of you know
you-
what.
I feel like you'd clean up in lawn bowling. You'd be like a
lawn
monster.
bowling?
Yeah.
Lawn bowling, I just crush it.
Yeah.
In a 55 and over community.
You
I'm
mentioned
meat.
you
You'd
mentioned
be like the
Kramer.
Mamba.
Yeah.
You mentioned Kramer. There's an episode of Seinfeld where Kramer goes down to Del Boca Vista,
Yeah.
where the Seinfelds live, and he becomes like the king of the retirement community. Like they love him there, but then unfortunately he gets involved in a political scandal.
Oh, no.
For I don't know if it's like retirement community president or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But up to that point, he was killing it. That could be you. The olds would love you, Cappy.
Yeah,
I mean, you could literally run the place.
You really would.
But how about like all the old ladies?
Could be
that
the
want
mayor.
A piece, though. That want a piece. They're like, hey, did you see the new young guy? And like, you know, Sadie, who's like 78 years old, is like, I'm having a piece of that. You know, and that's me.
Right, like Blanche from Golden Girls.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Would
That's
find
me.
you.
I mean, frankly, this is how you keep Rachel honest. You know, I mean, when she realizes you've got all these other options around the retirement community, she's going to be grateful for what she has.
Hear that, George?
I mean, show's a little later over there, though.
Yeah.
6 to 9. You know? I don't know if your neighbors would like that. Yeah.
You know what my best buddy calls Rachel? My best buddy calls Rachel Ruchela.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
Ruchela.
Rugula.
Yeah, he's like, you know, it sounds like a very biblical name, Rachel.
Yeah,
It is a biblical name.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's why it sounds like that, I guess.
It's very
He
biblical.
calls her Ruchela.
Old Testament.
Yeah. Hey, Momo, what's up with the trophy you got over here?
15 magical
Oh, wow,
years with the Walt
congrats.
Disney Company.
Wow, 15 years.
Pretty good.
And you got a trophy, huh?
Trophy.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
what you get. You get a plaque for 10.
Okay.
You get the pin for
I got-
5,
I got
a
a-
plaque for
I got a
10.
pin, too.
Well, right, you get the pins every
Yeah.
right, but every 5 you get the pins.
Okay.
First one is a 5.
All right.
And then you get the pin, you get the plaque, and then
Yeah.
you get trophy. And then there's like I think for 20 you end up like having dinner with Bob Iger and
Hey.
stuff.
Oh,
No,
Like,
you know who gets 20 this year is Funch.
in like a
Really?
big
Like
in
next
like a
month.
big setting.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big
Oh yeah, I think I've seen. Yeah, I've seen those emails.
Everybody gets like a, you know, like it's like you don't get a one-on-one.
Oh,
with
that's
Bob,
too bad.
But you get you get like the big dinner with all the other 20 and 30 and 25-year-old employees or whatever.
Wow, that's like a challenge.
I'm really,
It's in New York,
I'm
I've
really. That's cool. So the pin is at 5 years, which my 5 years will be August of this summer.
Wow. Look at that,
If I
Cappy.
make it.
Now,
if I
is
make
it like really like 5? Were you like full time, part time? How's that work?
Yeah, I think.
Were you like
I remember when you started
a
in August.
1099?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cappy en la noche.
I remember one
during the
time
pandemic.
when I first
Yeah, it
started.
was during the pandemic.
When I first started, Andy and Ramona were on the air together, and this is during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And Andy makes this comment about Ramona going to Cal, and I go, "Oh gosh, I'm sorry, Ramona. I thought you went to Stanford." And Andy was like, "Okay, forget it. You didn't get the joke." Like, and I just didn't get the joke.
Do you remember when I called you Rick for the first
yes,
year?
you did.
I did
Who's
learn
Rick
your name.
Kaplan?
I don't
It's
know.
a guy that I used to play poker with my dad.
Rick Kaplan?
Yeah, he was
Rick
like a
Kaplan.
teacher at my dad's school.
Good guy.
That would have been a good banker, boy band,
Yeah,
or
would've.
baseball
Rick
player.
Kaplan would have been good. You should have done
I was
that.
like, wait, I thought his name was Rick. No? Okay.
Yeah, that was. I remember that was the weirdest thing. Like the first time I ever worked with you, Cappy, was interesting just because I had heard you on air for a while, but because of the pandemic
Yeah, we
setting,
didn't know what
I
you
never
looked
actually
like.
met you.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
had no idea what you looked like. I
Yeah.
was like the first time I walked in, I'm like, oh,
He's a good-looking guy.
I was
I
like,
will say-
I can't believe that guy's in his
Is that what he
50s. There's no way.
Well, he
This
wasn't
young
because
guy-
back then he was in his 40s.
Right, this young
Yeah.
fella right here. No chance.
It'd still be 50s.
Yeah, I think I was
5
50
years
by
Oh,
is
then.
no, well, that's
55.
true.
I
Right,
can do
right. You
math.
weren't 49 yet.
Yeah, that wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
I remember the first show I listened, you were like, were you solo? I
Yeah,
think you
I
were
was doing-
solo.
yeah.
And you booked all these guests. And I remember this because I was in one of those drive-through testing lines. We used to go get drive-through tested
Oh,
for
yeah.
COVID all the time.
Oh, yeah, right.
This was 2020.
Yeah.
And like, it was like we all, in my household, my little pod, we all would go like once every few weeks and be like, okay, let's do a test, even if I don't, because we didn't know how this worked. You have to have symptoms and blah, blah, blah. So I was like in one of those drive-through lines and it was taking forever. So I listened to almost your whole show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, this guy's working hard. He's booking guests.
Yeah, I was
he's
booking
solo.
guests.
He's like doing his thing.
I was telling people, I'm like, hey, listen, I got this opportunity to work on
Yeah.
710, and it's a radio station that for 20 years I've had on my radar. Like, I wanted to work there. I told George, I'd interviewed in like 2010.
Oh, wow.
With the program director back then. I don't remember his name. And
Something Thompson? Mike Thompson.
No, previous to him.
it's before him.
Yeah, before him.
There's been many.
Yeah. And anyway.
Is that Smokey Gifford?
It was Smokey Gifford.
It might be.
Yeah, right. It was Smokey. It was Smokey Gifford. And Smokey Gifford told me, he's like, hey, man, you're a little too typecast. You know, you're already like part of an ensemble show. You can't do a one-man thing. We don't think. Okay, great. And then he got fired like 2 weeks later. And then
For that.
and,
For
well,
that
I don't know if
decision.
it was for that, but he kind of he got fired. And then the other guy, Mike Thompson.
I love Mike Thompson.
Years later,
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, Cappy doesn't.
no, well, so what
Oh.
happened was somebody had introduced me to Scott McCarthy, who used to be
Yes.
the guy
Yep,
who really
love
ran
Scott.
everything. And so I got on a call one day with Scott McCarthy, and Scott said to me, he goes, hey, you know what you should do is I'm going to connect you with Mike Thompson. So Mike got this word that I spoke to Scott before I spoke
Yeah.
to Mike, and it pissed him off bad.
Oh.
So he sent me
You broke
this
chain of
email.
command.
Oh, he sent me an email telling me, Kaplan, you're not ESPN material. You could never work in this environment. You're not good enough, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
About 2 weeks later, he got
I mean,
fired.
it's still debatable. whether ESPN material.
Right. He may have been right about that, right? About 2 weeks later, he got fired. And instead of me like sending him an email, like trampling on his
Yeah.
grave, I was like, hey, bro, in this business, you never know what happens.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry if you ever need me. And then he wrote me back this email. He goes, oh my God, you're such a good guy. Thank you for saying that.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it was weird. It was a whole weird
Misjudge you
thing.
there, buddy.
And then you came here and you were like, hey, I've listened to you. I've really liked your work. And I was like, that's awesome.
You know
Rick?
what, Rick? For real, for anybody out here listening, like, I don't know, Cappy, the next time you could be in a contract here, or if you're ever looking for a different job, side job, whatever, you should hire. Anybody listening should hire you, because clearly the result of not hiring you is getting
Right.
fired.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
That's right. That's right. You don't
Everybody
hire me.
who doesn't hire you
You're like
gets fired.
the Madden curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverse Madden curse.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go. Brian
Why?
Windhorst
Where are you
is
going?
waiting for me.
Oh, Wendy?
Yeah,
Where's he at?
Your boy.
Yeah, where's he at?
We're doing a podcast together across the way.
Why don't you guys do it here?
Because he's not in LA.
Oh.
I have to go sit in a room, and he's in Omaha.
All
where
right,
he
tell
lives.
him I said what's up, and then
I
I'll
will.
call him
I
later.
will. I
Okay,
will.
tell him I'll talk to him tonight.
You're
Tell
gonna-
him Rick
did,
says
Did
hi.
he send you a birthday present?
You know, Wendy sent me. This is actually quite a beautiful thing.
Uh-huh.
He sent me this picture of me and LeBron together.
Really?
Which was really sweet. really, really.
But you're
upset.
not really together. You're
He
just in
sent
the
you
same
a
photo.
birthday picture, or was this like a digital picture?
No,
that
it
he
was
just
like
texted you?
framed and everything. And like,
Are you serious?
And he photoshopped me and LeBron together. Is what he did.
I've never gotten a birthday present from Wendy.
Well, you don't have the relationship that he and Wendy have.
Right,
yeah,
clearly.
Rick
bonded.
Kaplan and
All right,
Tell
I
him
don't
Rick said
want
what's
to
up.
rob anyone of any more of the rare opportunities that we get with these two gentlemen in the studio together.
Right.